Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
This year, help dreams come true with the Ideal Idaho 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits, ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, K-12 education, and student loan repayment. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org if you would like to learn more.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles. Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Pirates. Good evening, everyone. I always trip on that one. My name's Will Henneke, joined by Lucas Gebhardt. We're just a few moments away from game time here. The officials are here. They're just not on the field yet. So we have a couple of extra minutes. Let's go down to field level, where Paul Kingsbury is standing by with Valley's head coach Brian Ayers.
All right, everybody, welcome into the Gem State Game of the Week here at Fruitland High School. It's kind of a game meeting in the middle. I'm here with Coach of the Valley Vikings. Coach, what did you guys do this week to kind of get up for a game where you've got to travel so far, meeting in the middle against a team like Prairie that you don't really see that often?
If we can't get up for a game, Prairie's been a fantastic program for a really long time. Coach Hasselstrom's got his crew back together. We played them several times in like the 2014, 15, 16, that area. And it's always a battle, coach team. So getting up for this one's not a problem.
You know, speaking of well-coached teams, last week you played the Butte County Pirates, and you mentioned, we were talking beforehand, that you had a few miscues as a team. There was a few things to clean up. What were some of those things that you worked on this week during practice?
Just self-discipline, keeping emotions in check, making sure that we worry about our job, not what's really taking place. You know, we got a little bit worked up over what was going on in the game instead of just doing our individual jobs.
Right. Well, Coach, every week we do a pick six on Idaho Sports, and this week I picked Prairie. But I want to tell you, it was because it was to give you guys bulletin board material, because I'm really rooting for you guys. So just so you know, I picked Prairie, and then I commented down below. I said, okay, this is the week I make my comeback. And Brian actually went and liked my comment, kind of a see you, Kingsbury. So just when you go back and see it, you know, I was really rooting for you guys, right?
Yeah. You know, everybody says that. You know?
All right, Coach Ayers, we're going to get back to your team. Good luck tonight. Appreciate it. Back up to you guys.
All right, thank you so much, Paul. Tonight's game, the Gem State Game of the Week, presented by a host of people: Project Filter, Valleywide Cooperative, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Valley comes into tonight's game 0-1 overall. Paul and Coach Ayers mentioned it. Game against Butte County last week. Prairie 1-0. They opened their season with a win over Deary last week. Again, I'm Will Henneke, Lucas Gebhardt with you. These are two of the better 8-man programs historically in the state that we're getting to see here tonight.
Yeah, historically for sure. And, Valley's a team that, remember, not too long ago were they playing 11-man football. Now here they are playing 8-man football again. And this is a program that's been building kind of for this year a little bit over the last 2 years. This is a program that, not too long ago went 1-7, 6 wins, including a playoff win last year as well. So coming into this year, expectations are definitely elevated for Valley, but they run into just a buzzsaw in Butte County last week. So Butte County is going to be one of the favorites in their not only their league, but could potentially be a team that could be playing football deep into November as well.
All right, Paul is a busy man down on the sideline. He talked to Coach Ayers on the Valley side. Now let's hear from Coach Ryan Hasselstrom of the Prairie Pirates.
All right, guys, I'm back down here on the field with Coach Hasselstrom. Took a little bit of a hiatus, a couple years. He's back. I think everybody's happy to see you back. I know Will Henneke and I are, we've known you a long time. So coming back after leaving a program that you built and you ran for so many years, and then taking it back over after you left, what was kind of the thinking and the chat you had with the team when you came back in?
It's just hard. I mean, trying to retire from it, I thought I had other plans that didn't actually play out the way I was hoping they would. But, being there in school with the kids every day, and watching them go through some of the struggles they went through, it was hard. It was hard to watch. Not to say that the program went severely downhill or anything, but it just kind of wasn't the same as it was. And there was a decision made to make a shift in the coaching staff, and kids pressured a little bit, so
Peer pressure.
yeah, peer pressure, yeah, and it worked. And I got kind of old crew back together, and those guys, Steele Bruner and Matt Elvin, are a huge part of this. I might get the interviews and stuff, but those guys do all the work, so it's great.
Well, coming into this, when you're playing Valley from the Magic Valley, you guys don't really see each other that often. Of course, everybody knows each other, Brian Hardy and Coach Ayers. In fact, you went to U of I with Brian Hardy back in the day.
Yeah, and Ryan Jarvis.
Really?
Yeah. So we're getting old.
Yeah, we all are, aren't we? So coming into it with these guys, how do you really prepare for a team? I mean, people say that this is one of those games that, quote, doesn't matter. It's not a conference, it's out, but you still want to win, and with max preps, everything else going on. So how do you prepare for a team like Valley coming into a meet-in-the-middle kind of game like this?
We have a little bit of a history, in 14 and 15 we played the state title games against each other, and then I think in a game in Middleton in maybe 2019, 2020, I think we played them down there too. So we got a familiarity there with them, and they do a lot of the same stuff they've been doing, but they're a good program. Coach Ayers does a good job, and it's fun to get back in and prep for something that we normally don't see. A lot of twins open, a lot of zone read stuff, and good athletic quarterback, and some big guys up front. So it's a challenge for us for sure. We don't have a lot of depth, so we're going to go out and give it everything we got.
Well, Coach, every week we do a pick six on IdahoSports.com. We put it on social media, and I picked you guys to win on this one. And just want you to know, I believe it. I really think you guys are going to win this one. So, go out and win this one for me.
We're coming into it hoping to win it. So I hope you are correct, and I'll buy you a burger afterwards.
I'll hold you to it. There's an A&W just on the outside of the freeway. So it's going to be late. So, hey, guys, we're going to send it back up to you. But Coach Hasselstrom back at the helm for the Prairie Pirates. We'll see how he does tonight. Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks so much, Paul. Logan Green producing tonight. You record. This is all being archived, right? So we've got Paul flip-flopping on record.
It's on. We have it on the record.
Okay.
Him telling one coach one thing, and then the complete opposite to the other coach.
I mean, he's pandering. He's pandering.
Right.
I give him some credit for that. Again, if you're wondering why we haven't,
I'm practicing for a career in politics.
Okay. Yeah.
Well done. Well done.
I didn't know he could hear us, so now that's also good for us to know. Now that
hearing
we know
through
that
Logan.
he can hear us.
He's hearing through
Okay,
Logan.
Yeah.
If you're wondering why we haven't kicked off yet, this game was supposed to kick off about 4 minutes ago. The officials are here, but they're not yet on the field, so we're waiting just a few minutes for that. Meanwhile, both these teams, Lucas, trying to find some shade because, I mean, let's be honest, it's hot. It's really warm, and early in the season, both these teams traveled today. And now it's hot. You worry about cramping.
Yeah, for sure. And, both teams are in kind of for a long day. We talked to some of the Prairie coaching staff before this game. They drove down, left town up in Cottonwood about 11 o'clock their time this morning, lose the hour coming here, so it's even a little bit of a longer trip for them. They'll get the hour. They're going to go back after the game tonight and get back at about midnight, 12, maybe now 12:30, 1 o'clock if we don't kick this thing off here in the next few minutes. But on the other side for Valley, that it's another long day for them. Both these schools are Fruitland's about halfway between these two schools, down to about the mile. So it's definitely a long day for both of these teams. Both these teams going to go back after we're done here tonight. But I just think when you have the time change factored into that thing too, it just feels longer than it might actually be for Prairie.
Yeah, it's a long day. Paul Kingsbury looking for a little more FaceTime down at field level, I believe. Although now he's playing with his camera. The officials have arrived on the field. So, Paul, fire when ready. We are ready for you.
It's on. Okay, so apparently I need to turn this field. As I was walking up and down, I walked around the south end zone here, and around the goalpost, I almost slipped and fell on my keister. It's very, very muddy. And as I walked around different parts of the field, very, very wet and very muddy in some spots. So doesn't happen, but the field conditions are pretty wet and muddy. It was very well watered here at Fruitland, home of the Grizzlies.
All right, thanks, Paul. I think we're testing the range just a touch there. That might cut in and out. We mentioned Prairie getting the win last week. They beat Deary 44-8. Dylan Uhlencott, a name you'll hear tonight. Chris Shoemaker, another name you'll hear a lot. Is this is a team, if it's going well for Prairie, they're doing it on the ground. They're eating up some clock, and they're leaning on the Valley defense.
Yeah, and it's going to be two quarterbacks, too, that kind of get it done for Prairie as well. And Levi McElroy and as well as Briggs Rambo, the two quarterbacks. And Rambo's a guy that's 6'4", 170. So if you look at the roster and you're like, that guy's a quarterback, right? He's got the big, tall frame. But they'll run with a much smaller two-quarterback system with McElroy just coming in just a touch under 6 foot. He's listed 5'11", 160. But these are two teams that are going to try to run the ball effectively. And a few things that stand out to me is we talk about how teams are going to run the ball. It's going to be one in the trenches, right? And so Prairie's got three guys that are coming back to their offensive and defensive line. They'll probably play both ways. They got three guys coming back that had some kind of all-conference honor last year, whether that's an honorable mention or a second team or third team. So something to watch as we go along. Early stages especially is the battle in the trenches.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Subert Excavators. They're a proud sponsor of all area athletes. Rock crushing has been their business for over 50 years. Centrally located in Cottonwood, they specialize in all crushing-related work, but their emphasis has been crushing hard rock quarries, sand and gravel sources, screening and mixing, agglomerating. That's a new one. I'm going to have to find out what agglomerating is. And also washing materials. Located at 604 King Street in Cottonwood, or give them a call, 208-962-3501. Go Prairie, that's Subert Excavators. On the other side, you got the Valley Vikings there in white on the far side. For the Vikings, it really begins and ends with Josh Hardy, a young man who last week, between passing and rushing, over 300 yards. He had 3 touchdown rushes, and he's the trigger man. If he's going well, they're probably going well.
Yeah, and that's especially in the 8-man game is going to be the case with pretty much any quarterback, but especially the case here for a guy like Josh Hardy, who's entering his senior season now. Like you mentioned, over 300 all-purpose yards, and you're going to see a lot of that again today. Not a huge frame, 5'8", $150 as a quarterback. So when you see that on the roster, that screams that he's a running guy first. And so, but with Hardy, he's the younger of another Hardy who obviously had some success at Valley just a few years ago, helped them on a couple state title runs.
Yeah, Jason Hardy.
Yeah.
Very all-state level player. Now a assistant women's basketball coach at a Division I institution, Cal State Bakersfield. So if you ever hear anybody telling you can't get it done at a small town, I give you Jason Hardy as Exhibit A. We're going to take a quick time out here on IdahoSports.com. When we come back, hopefully we are ready for kickoff. Valley and Prairie coming up next.
P1FCU has been serving Vandals across the Northwest for decades. Now, we're investing even more in Idaho students. We are helping make the BEAMS financial literacy program available to all students and providing student athletes access to money management support through Elevate Idaho. Without our members, we couldn't impact these students' financial wellness. Become a member and get your exclusive Vandal debit card to help support Vandal Nation. Visit p1fcu.org/govandals to learn more.
Those of us who devote our lives to the animals we love can recall a kind of dawning, like a seed planted deep within us and it taken root and begun to grow. It's why our family built a company dedicated to supporting the animals we all care for and this lifestyle we share.
Tom?
Now, would you please stand and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem?
All right, very nice national anthem, and we'll get things ready to go. They're getting set to do some starting lineups here. Again, we mentioned Valley 0-1, Prairie 1-0. I wouldn't read too much into that at this point, Lucas. Very early in the season. They're both still getting ready to roll here.
Yeah, and, Valley, we talked about it in the open a little bit, a tough game against Butte County. Butte County's a very good team. Prairie, on the other hand, I don't necessarily want to say a tune-up game, if you will, for Prairie, but maybe a little bit of that with where they feel like they want to be at the end of this year. They looked good last week, and they're hoping to carry that into this week here at Fruitland. And just listening again to those two interviews that we did before the game, the Valley coach, he's like, hey, we're ready to get up for this game, and like you should be after starting 0-1. But with it's only about a 8-minute delay or so with the officials. And then keep in mind, these officials came up from District 4, about a 2-hour drive away as well. So, but it was about an 8-10 minute delay. So how does that affect you? Because you're spending all day getting ready to play, and then even just a small delay like that can just really affect things. But on the other end for Prairie as well, you talked about the field conditions and 94 degrees here at kickoff, and wearing those black uniforms with those red helmets, and it's even hotter than 94 degrees on the field, as Paul mentioned, because it's a natural grass here, but when they water it, it feels like more humid almost down on the field, so it might be pushing 100 degrees down on field temperature.
And we're in a cinder block press box here, which, don't get me wrong, it's a nice facility, but the Fruitland people here, and thank them for their graciousness and hosting and allowing us. They taunted us with a fan here.
And
it doesn't work. It's missing 2 of its blades. We fired it up, and if you were alive and a TV watcher in the 80s, it kind of sounded like we were aboard Airwolf.
Yeah. Right.
So we're about set to go. Again, Valley kicking it off here to start the football game. They're in the all white with the blue lids. I shouldn't repeat that. You just said that. And now Prairie will come out. They have Dylan Uhlencott and also Matt Wemhoff look like the 2 that are heading back. Wemhoff is the deepest. And if you're a fan of either of these teams, you're going to hear a lot of familiar names. Like, didn't he have an older brother a few years ago? The answer is probably yes.
Yeah, especially with these 2 programs too, and especially with the town of Cottonwood and things like that. I mean, Prairie is good at not just football; they're good in boys basketball every year. They're good in baseball, so they got some athletes there.
Hard ground ball kickoff off the foot of Daniel Zamudio rolls out of bounds, and let's see exactly where they spot the ball. And that's where Prairie will take over here to start their first drive. 44 points last week. Dylan Uhlencott, 135 yards rushing, 3 touchdown runs. They're going to spot it right on the 35-yard line. Again, Fruitland High School, for those of you who are tuned in from elsewhere, which I'm looking around, a fair number of people actually made the drive from both of these communities to watch this game.
Yeah, and hats off to them. I mean, that's not an easy drive to make, particularly on a Friday, too.
Briggs Rambo will start at quarterback. He has a man in motion. Uhlencott behind him. Sweep to the right-hand side. Short gain, and then stood up and stopped. It looked like Thomas Vargas in on the tackle for Valley.
Yeah, they're just trying to get some space. They did run into the short side of the field. Not as much space on that far side, but trying to find the edge and trying to establish that edge early. First team to find the edge outside those tackles. That's going to be the early advantage.
Rambo, play action pass, rolls out, throws it out. The pass is complete. Turn in the corner, across midfield, across the 40. Breaks the tackle and off to the races he goes. Matt Wemhoff, touchdown.
Yeah, great opening script here from Prairie. They try it on the edge on the first side. They go to that near side trying to find that edge. Now they come back with a play action. Just a wide open receiver. Receiver gets into the open space, runs over a defender, and when you only got 8 guys on the field, you make one guy miss, you usually end up in the end zone.
Second play of the game. We haven't even played a full minute yet, and the Pirates are on the board at 6-0. Try for conversion here. If you don't watch a lot of 8-man football, not a lot of kicking aside from punts and kickoffs. Generally, teams will go for the 2-point conversion. Rambo sends a receiver in motion, now trips to the wide side of the field. Rambo back to throw, throws the out route. He's got a man wide open, and it is good. Chris Shoemaker on the reception, and just like that, 11:18 left, so less than a minute into the game, and it's already 8-0 Prairie. You can't get a much better start if you're a fan of the Pirates.
Yeah, dream start there for Prairie. 2 plays, and you find yourself in the end zone. 2-point conversion, and you're up 8-0 less than 45 seconds into the game. So now Valley, going back to what they had said in their pregame interview that Coach Ayers did in that interview, we want to get up, we want to be ready for this game. Well, you just got punched in the jaw 2 plays into this thing.
Yeah, pretty hard.
So how are they going to respond now? Do you respond by one of your chunk plays, one of your shot plays kind of coming out of the gate, or do you try to hold the ball for a little bit? So it'll be interesting to see how Valley decides to respond to this. And I think one thing is absolutely critical for them and their start. You have to get at least a couple first downs, if not even respond to that touchdown.
Zamudio back deep to return the kickoff. Within the first 42 seconds of the game, we will have seen both teams kickoff and kick return units. That's not the norm by any stretch of the imagination, but that's what we got here. And it looks like the man to do the kicking, Levi Gehring for Prairie. 11:18 to go, 8-0 Prairie already. Touchdown pass to Wemhoff. There's a short pass that he did the work on. Short little pooch kick, going to be grabbed across the 40, out to about the 43 or so, and then pulled down. There's just a sea of bodies there looking for a number. I believe that was Andrew Lukes.
Yeah, so now this drive is going to start at their own 42. And you just kind of view this as Valley of, okay, let's just act like we got the ball first. Let's just wash away that second play of the game. Really, all it wasn't really a shot play from Prairie. It was more just dump it into a guy and he just made him move in space. Yeah. So it wasn't necessarily one of those shot plays per se, but regardless, these first couple plays here for Valley, you're going to have to do something productive.
First down for the Vikings, going left. That's Josh Hardy. He gets out to midfield. Nice gain on first down, setting up a second down and maybe about 2.5, 3 yards to go.
Yeah, that's a good start there for Hardy. And what you saw there is probably one of the first couple plays that Valley has put into their playbook. It's let's get the ball into our best player's hands, and that's Hardy, and let's just run him off this left side and get what we call a drive starter, right? That's a great drive starter for Valley, picking up 7 yards on first down.
Two receivers to the right side of the formation. Hardy with one back behind him. He's going to come. He fakes the reverse. Now it's a throw over the middle. Leaping, nearly a one-handed interception. And, boy, that would have been something if he would have been able to pull it down. With the attempt on that was Dylan Uhlencott. And, man, that would have made some highlight reels if he could have just corralled it.
Yeah, and I think that was Levi Gehring who nearly came down with the interception at that linebacker spot. But he's mad at himself. You saw him slamming the grass there after he didn't come down with that. That's a tough catch.
Yep.
I mean, I know he wanted to come up with that, but he had to elevate. It was probably on him quicker than he was expecting it to, just because he's looking into a sea of bodies, right? So, but big third down here early in this one.
Third down and 3. Hardy back to throw. He's going to take a shot. Nobody out there. Leaping catch, and it's going to be a first down. On the reception, Pedro Robles, the 6-foot senior. Nice grab. And you like to see the quarterback just lay it up there and have his playmaker go and make a play.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of man-on-man coverage in this 8-man game. That's exactly what they had on that third down. Robles on that fly route, that fade route, picks up the first down.
Hardy to the right-hand side. He's got a seam, and he's going to score. A flag is down, so let's wait and see.
Yeah, this one's in the holding territory, and
that's what it is.
Yep.
So Hardy has the touchdown run called back. It was about a 27-yarder. So bad break there for Valley if you're a Vikings fan, as that play really opened up.
Yeah, it did. But, here's the good news for Valley is they're moving the ball a little bit. They dodged the bullet by kind of squeaking around that interception a couple plays ago. But, now it's you have a setback in this first setback in this game. So now you're behind the sticks. Nothing that this offense can't overcome, especially with it being first down.
Two receivers to the left. Hardy with the snap. He's looking. Quick toss out, complete to Robles. He's going to get the penalty yardage back, try and turn the corner. Now it's a foot race to the end zone. He turns. He's inside the 10. Let's see. They're going to say he is down just short of the goal line. Let's see where they spot it. Looks like about the 2, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to be about 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards short.
And Valley will hustle up to the line here. As a nice gain to Robles down, it looks like it's actually closer to about the 4 based on where they're setting the sticks. And so Hardy will get set. He has Thomas Vargas in the backfield with him. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left.
It was a long delay for Valley, too. Valley's a team that you can see it early. They want to go quick. They want to get up to the line. They want to play with tempo. I'm not quite sure why there was
Hardy hands to Vargas. He's going to get wrapped up, falls forward. He's going to get down to about the 1. And he's going to get knocked down there as Carter Shears in on the tackle for Prairie.
Yeah, and I think you're just going to see him do the same thing again here. You may have a quarterback run here with Josh Hardy. Maybe go back to that first play they ran of the game where you just kind of run this quarterback power just off that left side. I don't know if they have it in the playbook or not. Read options, always something that you can do down here.
2 receivers to the left, 1 back behind Hardy. He'll take the snap. He's going to go to the left, gets a block, fights for the goal line, and he gets it. Touchdown, Valley. Josh Hardy, the short touchdown run.
Yeah, and that was the exact same play. That was just that quarterback power, just right off the left side. Good response for Valley. And with Prairie scoring 2 plays into their game and nearly turning the ball over, you had the holding penalty, still able to overcome all of it is Valley. So now we'll see if they can tie the game here with the 2-point conversion.
3 receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Pass out to that left-hand side. It's going to be caught. And running it in is Nathan Christensen, and we are tied 8-8. 9 minutes and 4 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. We are tied 8-8 here, and both teams have you got punch counter punch here. So I think both coaches offensively have got to be happy with their starts.
No, absolutely. Yeah, especially you saw good things on both sides, right? For Prairie, you saw a simple play call and you saw one of your guys make a play for a long touchdown. On the other side for Valley, you saw this offense run into some adversity. You know, like we said, the near interception. You picked up a 3rd down on kind of a play where you asked your receiver Robles, say, "Hey, go make a play. We're throwing it up to you." He goes and makes the play. Then you have the holding penalty, puts you behind the sticks, 1st and 20. Overcome that too, and through all of that, they're able to tie the game at 8. I mean, that's a sequence of events that you don't always run into, and when you do run into it, you see some of those teams that aren't at the upper echelons of their classifications in their leagues. Those are drives that don't end in touchdowns, but for Valley, very good signs that did end in a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
Onside kicks recovered by Prairie. Briggs Rambo grabs it, so Prairie's going to start with really good field position out across the 44. Looks like it'll be right about on the 45-yard line, and that's where Prairie will start possession number 2. There's another 8-man game in the Valley, a meet-in-the-middle game tomorrow. Kendrick taking on Oakley. Wouldn't be surprised if both coaching staffs are watching this game. So first down play here for Prairie. Rambo's going to hand off to Uhlencott, right-hand side, just kind of slams in there. Drives forward for about 3 or 4. Not a bad first down gain there for the Pirates.
And Prairie's just saying with that formation, I formation, 0 receivers. I mean, you want to talk about winning a game in a phone booth. There you go. That's half the size of a phone booth, right?
Shears and Quintal, you got experienced, strong offensive linemen, and Coach Hasselstrom and his staff more than happy to lean on those big boys there up front as Rambo under center, 2nd down. Uhlencott this time to the left will try to cut back, runs out of space, and then pretty good job by the Valley defense. Hardy in there on the tackle. Also in on the tackle is Thomas Vargas, and that'll bring up 3rd down for the Pirates.
Yeah, hats to the ball that time for Valley, and so important. Just ask one of the great 8-man guys to ever play in the 8-man game. That's Leighton Vander Esch, right? No one got to the ball and finished tackles better than he did, playing all his way all the way up to the NFL, where that was all they talked about when he was with the Cowboys, was how he learned how to do that, and Prairie's going to dodge a bullet here.
Flag down. They tried to throw a quick out to Levi Gehring on the left side, and the route was jumped by number 21, Drake Jones, and intercepted, but the whistle blew the play dead.
And it's a false start on Prairie that bails him out.
So that's one of the few times you'll see a coaching staff say, yes, we made a penalty.
Right.
Because because it was a false start, it kills the play.
Yep.
Otherwise, Valley would have had the ball and maybe scored.
I think it would have been 6 for sure.
So now it's 3rd and 12. 1 receiver to the near side of the formation, right in front of his own bench. Rambo with a back behind him. Another receiver in the slot. That's Chris Shoemaker. That's Shoemaker in motion. Sets to the other side. Rambo back to throw. Looking to set up. It looks like a screen. Doesn't really develop. So now he's going to roll, and we're going to get a flag on a blindside block. and it's not going to matter, is they're going to get a tackle for loss. It looked like they were trying to set up some sort of a center screen. It got blown up, and then all you-know-what broke loose as Rambo just tried to make something happen. Didn't work. Good discipline by the Valley defense.
Yeah, good discipline by the Valley defense, not only through that, but you know overcoming that penalty too, which they're going to get.
3 of the 4 officials threw flags on
Yeah,
that play.
yeah.
What's the 4th guy doing?
Yeah, right. Yeah, this is going to be Matt Wemhoff on that blindside block, like you mentioned there. Probably happened right in the middle of your screen.
And it wasn't like a dirty, egregious hit. It was instinct to try and go help your quarterback. But they've really cracked down. If you're out of the line of sight, you can't. You can go get in the way. You can't hit him.
Right. And so
both penalties, which were against Prairie, they're going to decline them both. Coach Ayers for Valley is going to say make it 4th.
Yeah, so this is going to force what is going to be a punt for Prairie, and 4th and forever might be the only time you see these teams punt. That's what we got here.
Valley will send Hardy back to receive the punt. It looks like Levi McElroy to kick it. Hooks it to the left-hand side, and it, like a perfect lob wedge, it just stuck.
Yeah.
Gets down inside the 40. Valley will take over at about their own 41-yard line. 7:03 to go in the first quarter. We are tied 8-8, Valley and Prairie here on IdahoSports.com. Thank you to P1 FCU, Subert Excavators. That word just kills me. Subert Excavators for their help in making this game possible here this evening.
Yeah, now Valley's going to take the field for their second offensive drive of the game, and can't talk enough about that first drive of how they just overcame obstacle after obstacle as it got thrown their way, and they still ended up with 8 points at the end of the drive.
3 receivers for Valley, 2 to the far side, 1 to the near side. Robles here on the near side. Hardy brings a man in motion, takes the snap, hands off to Vargas up the middle. Nothing doing. Good work by the middle of that Prairie defense as they just shut it down. Looking for a number coming up off that. Is that Shoemaker who made that tackle? No, it's Wemhoff.
Yeah, it was Wemhoff coming off the tackle, but it was really a play that Wemhoff's going to get credit for it, but really that starts up front. That starts with that defensive front that we talked about in the open for Prairie, where you got 3 all-league guys coming back to it this year.
Hard count by Valley is going to get 5 yards back as Uhlencott charges into the neutral zone. Knew it immediately. Puts his hands on his hips and just backs up. It's still going to be second down, but now instead of 2nd and 12, it's 2nd and about 7.
And what it does, it puts this offense back on schedule. After that stuff on first down, you put them behind the sticks, quite literally, with the 2nd and 12, but that's a big 5-yard difference because you go from 2nd and 12 to 2nd and 7, so now this opens up much more of what you can do offensively.
Hardy gets it to Robles. The pass is complete. He'll be a little bit short of a first down, but to your point, instead of 2nd and 12, it's now 3rd and 1, so Valley, you want to talk about the whole playbook being open. You're in decent shape here if you're rooting for the team in white and blue here with 3rd and about a yard.
Yeah, and already now this is the 3rd catch for Robles in this game, so they're exploiting that matchup early.
53 receiving yards last week for Robles. He's got to be creeping up on that already, and we're halfway through the first quarter. Now everybody in tight, and it looks like we got Jonathan Zamudio in the backfield as a lead fullback, and Hardy up under center here. Hand off to Vargas. Big hole, breaks the right side. It's a foot race. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Valley.
Just 1 off the line of scrimmage. That's all that was for Valley. I mean, he went in untouched. Vargas just charged right through that hole that offensive line opened up for him. He wasn't touched on his way to the end zone. That might be the longest and easiest touchdown he scores all year.
That's almost like, just the way the offensive line opened that hole. That's almost like you'd run it in practice in a walkthrough.
Yeah, right.
Just outstanding execution on that play by Valley. So 14-8 Valley. And And they'll go for 2 again. Hardy takes the snap, rolls to the right, looking. Now he's going to keep it himself and walk it in for 2. It's good. So 16-8 Valley. We got 5 minutes, 33 seconds to go in the first quarter, and if you're a Vikings fan, again, down around to the Hazelton, the Paul area down in southern Idaho, you got to be loving what you're seeing so far.
Yeah, I think they played the first half of this first quarter about as well as you could expect them to. You know, the only real, I guess, hiccup they've had was that Prairie touchdown, and, you know, that was just Prairie, the Prairie guy just making a play.
Wemhoff
right?
made a great play.
Right. So now, you know, you have a stop in your bag. You've got 2 touchdowns in your pocket already. And so now you're kicking this thing away, feeling pretty good about yourself and going back to this. We're ready to get up for this game. We're ready to, Valley's ready to make a statement win here tonight.
Well, in that division, there's a lot of good football teams in that division. You're talking about Raft River. You're talking about Hagerman. Oakley did not look great in their first game. However, we know they're going to be better. Looking down to my left right now, young man by the name of Jake Bruner just walked in. If you're a Prairie fan, you likely remember that name. One of the talk about great 8-man players in recent memory. Valley kicks off another hard one, and again, it's snagged beautifully by Briggs Rambo. They've got a baseball team, and I'm going to ask down here, we got a couple Prairie people. Is Briggs Rambo a shortstop? Pole vaulter, okay, because you see pole vaulters grab bouncing footballs. He looks like a shortstop the way he fields those things.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I think as this game goes along, because we're seeing both these teams try that. You know, where neither team is kicking it deep, and so if you're not going to kick it deep and you don't have a kicker that can kick it towards the other end of the end zone, why not try the onside?
Prairie from their own 49-yard line, first down and 10. Ulen caught. Hole closes down quickly. Great job again by that Valley defense. In on the play is 34. That's Jonathan Zamudio, the 6', 285-pound senior. He blew up that play and nothing flat.
Yeah, and I think Zamudio's had a pretty big impact early in this game on that defensive edge. Prairie's having a hard time doing much of anything over on that right side where Zamudio's lining up. And so especially when you're a team like Prairie that likes to run the ball so much and you have a guy like Zamudio, it takes away about a third of your playbook.
Rambo play action pass, tries to get going. He's going to get wrangled up and pulled down. Another loss of yardage.
And Prairie offensively right now is just not comfortable. They're just not able to get these,
trying to find something that works.
Yeah. And the plays that they normally count on. Okay, we're going to get at least 4 or 5 yards here, and keep in these chain, kind of keep yourself on schedule kind of plays. None of those are really working for them right now.
3rd and 16, you wouldn't classify that as an on-schedule down in terms of down or distance. Now, if you're playing Madden, you just run a slant route and gain 40 yards, no big deal.
Yeah, you dial up 4 verts and move the chains, right? So,
timeout called by Prairie. 4:08 to go in the first quarter. 16-8 Valley is they're off. You take out again the one play, the really nice start for Prairie, is it was a short pass from Briggs Rambo to Matt Wemhoff and the 2 seniors connected, and Wemhoff was able to break a tackle at around the 30-yard line, take it in 63 yards for a touchdown. But since then, they've had a hard time getting anything going.
I'm not sure that they've had more than maybe 2 or 3 plays that have resulted in positive yardage. Everything has either been blown up at the line of scrimmage or it's been a sack or an incompletion, something along those lines. And so, good time out here for Prairie because you gotta go back. Not necessarily to the drawing board, but you got to go back to your comfort plays. You got to go back to something that you've run 1,000 times, over the summer, 1,000 times going into the first couple weeks of practices. Once you get into August, something that you're comfortable with. You don't have to pick up the whole thing here as it's 3rd and 16. But if you could pick up 7, 8 yards here, maybe you can think about going for it on 4th down. Because I'll tell you what, this Valley offense is clicking right now, and I think the last thing Prairie wants to do is punt it back to them when they've scored 2 touchdowns already.
So Rambo in the shotgun, 2 receivers to the left. Levi Gehring in motion. Rambo back to throw. It's again going to be that center screen. It's Wemhoff, similar play that they scored on last time. It's defended better by Valley is based on the fact that it didn't end in the end zone. Drake Jones in on the tackle, and you picked up about 8. You put yourself in position where at least it's a decision.
And, I think it was a great play call by Prairie that was met by better execution from Valley. Because the number one way that you slow down a defensive front that's getting after your quarterback, screen passes. That's exactly what Prairie did there. So it looks like they're going to punt it away, which I'm 50-50 on this. I don't mind kicking it away. It's still early. Maybe your defense can step up and make a play.
Punt is away, high in the air. Going to get down at about the 30 and take a good bounce for Prairie down near the 20-yard line, about the 22. It'll be down there, and with 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the first quarter, Valley will take back over. Two possessions, 2 scoring drives. Josh Hardy, a touchdown run, and Thomas Vargas, a touchdown run. So a great start. If you're a Valley fan, you're pretty happy right now.
Yeah, happy, but you also need to capitalize when you kind of have Prairie down a little bit right now. So you're in a position now.
Longest field either team has faced to this
by
point.
By far. But that being said, if you can go down the field and punch it in the end zone again, now you're really starting to put
IdahoSports.com.
I'm always looking for new ways to save, but I haven't found anything better than my P1FCU Ascend checking account. It's a free account that earns 3.5% APY of your average monthly balance. That could feed your coffee obsession for 2 weeks. Not only am I earning money, but I also have all the great features of a checking account, like mobile deposit and mobile wallet. Open your Ascend checking account at p1fcu.org and start earning today. APY is the annual percentage yield.
Those of us who devote our lives to the animals we love can recall a kind of dawning, like a seed planted deep within us and it taken root and begun to grow. It's why our family built a company dedicated to supporting the animals we all care for and this lifestyle we share.
Will Henneke, Lucas Gebhardt here on IdahoSports.com, ready to start the second quarter of play. Dylan Uhlencott, one of his nicest runs of the game, putting Prairie into Valley territory to start the second quarter. The Pirates trailing 22-8. Handoff up the middle. That is Shoemaker. He's trying to drag somebody along. Gets a nice gain on first down of about 4. And Levi McElroy in at quarterback now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Prairie handles these two quarterbacks now that they've really kind of hit their first speed bump of the year offensively. Early in this game, 3 drives, 8 points. And they're going to move back a little bit here as well with a false start.
So our 2nd and 7, long 6, short 7, just turned into about 2nd and 12. Bad break there for Prairie. They'll just get right back up on the line of scrimmage. I formation behind McElroy, the shortstop, 5'11", 160-pound junior. He's going to hand off to Uhlencott. It's all plugged up, tries to cut to the left, just kind of keeps bouncing, keeping his feet moving. And a play that looked like it was going to get nothing, he winds up with probably about 4 yards on that. Good hard work there by Uhlencott. Just he kept the legs moving.
Yeah, 4 more yards than it looked like he was going to get. So, good job of keeping his feet moving there for Valley. Just got to finish off the play defensively, which it's going to be important for Valley. Up a couple scores here, early second quarter, not to get complacent in this one. They got to keep their foot on the gas here with this third down coming up. Probably going to be 4-down territory here for Prairie as they're on the Valley 40.
3rd and about 8. I formation, McElroy. Play action pass. He's looking, nothing going. Now he's in trouble. He tries to squirt out of there, nothing doing. Good pressure and persistent pressure there. 73. Now Kent was in there. I think that was number 16, Aiden Malone, also in there. Tried a little play action pass, nothing happening. And that'll bring up 4th down, and the idea of going for it on 4th down because of that sack probably just went away.
Well, it's just a spot where you just can't take a sack. This is an area where he's getting coached up on the sideline here as McElroy, the quarterback for Prairie. Just a spot where you just can't take a sack just because you got to know situationally what the situation is in the football game, knowing that, hey, we got something dialed up to get 5-6 yards here, and we're going to go for it on 4th down. But when you take a 10-yard sack, obviously can't do that anymore, and Prairie punts it away for the 3rd time in a row now, and this offense just sputtering here in the second quarter.
Prairie coming into tonight's game, number 5 in the statewide coaches poll, receiving votes in the media poll. Prairie receiving votes in the coaches poll and unranked in the media poll. Very early, and it's, you want to talk about crapshoots. Try coming up with a poll right now. You have a team that looks phenomenal in week 1, then somebody twists an ankle and they look like the Bad News Bears in week 2. Well, which team are they? You know what I mean?
Sure.
Especially at the 8-man level.
Yeah, and I think sometimes too is some of the folks that are voting in these polls, particularly on the media side, don't get to see a lot of two-way football.
Right.
A whole lot. So
especially two-way football from, say, the other side of the state.
Yes, exactly.
Vargas up the middle, not much doing there. Gets a yard or 2. Emmett Burley frozen. Okay. Just got a text, passed it along to Logan, the producer extraordinaire, doing about 14 things at once here.
As a good producer does.
I can barely do one thing at once. 9:15, clock rolling, second quarter. Valley up by a couple of scores, and they have the football, second down. Hardy looking deep, lets it fly, got a man out there, drops it in the bucket. It is complete, and off to the races, Nathan Christensen. He is going to score 81 yards. Wait, 71 yards. No, 81? We're going to go with 81 just for fun.
Yeah, but there, I mean, it's just Christensen just beating his man off the line of scrimmage. Pretty easy pitch and catch there. I mean, he was wide open, and no one was
Tell you what,
his way there.
Hardy, for a guy who's perceived to be a quote-unquote run-first quarterback, he
Looking-
dropped that
looking
pup
good.
in the bucket.
Yep.
That
Yeah,
was
he
a
did.
fantastic throw.
And one of those throws as a quarterback, too, that you go, okay, he's open. Can't miss this one.
No.
Same thing on the receiver side. You go,
Please catch it, please catch it, please catch it.
Right.
Hit him in stride, and he cruises in. Either 81 or 71. They had moved the chains by the time I looked, so we're going to call it 81 just because it sounds better. Hardy under pressure into the middle, and it is caught by Robles. The two-point conversion is good, and we've got a 30-8 Valley lead, and I don't know that we're surprised that Valley is doing well. I don't know how many people would have called 30-8 3 minutes into the second quarter.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people saw that one coming.
No.
Yeah, without a doubt, and especially with Prairie and having this coaching staff back after the year hiatus. I think a lot of people thought Prairie was really going to take a step forward. Not saying they're not going to. They're obviously in a bit of a hole here, but that being said, plenty of time left. But this is to make my overall point of I don't think a lot of people gave Valley much of a. I think a lot of people thought Valley they'd hang in this game, but not necessarily be up 30-8.
Hey, they look
early
great
in the second.
They look great so far, and you talked about it in the pregame. Here we are. What are they doing?
We gonna wave or
Paul's
what?
a jerk.
They're trying to get a shot of us up here in the booth.
The ugly meter just went way up on Idaho Sports. Site crashed.
Yeah.
Delete. Eject. You talked about it in the pregame, and I just want to finish that sentence because I don't remember where I was going with it. But you talked about something in the pregame that obviously stuck with me. I just can't remember what it is at the moment.
Get up for this game. They've done that.
They have gotten up for this game. Valley ready to kick things off. And it'll be another short onside kick. Race for the ball.
They almost got it.
And it looks like a nice job. Ashton Martin, the sophomore. Talk about just sticking your nose in there. You got 8 guys charging straight at you, and you have to dive at them to recover the football.
Yeah.
That was a nice play by Martin to come up with that football and give Prairie, again, good field position here, and it's 8-man football. The things can swing on a dime. You get a score here and then a stop, you're potentially right back in it. But it starts with a good drive and see if you can get a score here.
Yeah, I think it starts now for Prairie. I'd be done with not necessarily totally abandoning the running game, but I think they're really going to start to open it up a little bit here as you see them here with the empty backfield.
McElroy to throw inside to Rambo, and it juggles and falls incomplete, and that'll be second down.
I think that's just part of when it rains it pours kind of thing offensively for Prairie.
It looked like he started to the old turn your head just before you catch it. That's what it looked like from here, and I get paid big money here to make general assumptions like that. Back to the I formation behind McElroy, second down. Hand off to Uhlencott, tries to get around the right side, can't do it. Great job by Jones. He's done a really nice job. I think it's either a defensive end or an outside linebacker position. I got to watch this play and see where he is. That's his second or third tackle for loss already, and we're early in the second quarter.
Yeah, they have him listed at linebacker, and he's done a good job of containing that edge, which really is
Looks
might
like
be the
he's
most important job in 8-man.
Looks like he might be coming from middle based on where he's standing right now. Well, now he's going to go way out to the right as a cornerback. Nice when you can go defensive end to middle linebacker to cornerback.
Yeah, no kidding.
Fly just attempted to land on my eyeball itself. I was able to thwart the attack. McElroy back to throw, under pressure, got hit as he threw it. Diving attempt just off the hands of Shoemaker, incomplete. It looks like we do have a flag down, and I think we're going to have a hold.
Yeah, this is going to be holding. Caden Jarvis, the defensive lineman for Valley, just came charging through. If it wasn't a hold, it was going to be a sack. So pick your poison if you're the Pirates. And they'll decline it, and fourth down coming up.
Well, at your own 45, I think you're in a position where you probably got to kick it away and ask your defense to make a stop, which so far they've struggled to do.
Done it. Yeah, it's been 4 drives, 4 touchdowns for Valley so far in the game.
Uhlencott drops the snap. Now he's running around for his life, and he's going to get tackled. No real chance there. As Uhlencott bobbled the snap and then tried to pick it up and run, but had nowhere to go. So Prairie will start inside. Valley will start inside the Prairie 40-yard line, and I think what you got right here is you got a shark that's smelling some blood here.
Yeah, without a doubt. And this is a chance now for Valley. I'm going Robles fade route, and I'm trying to get 6
Go dagger
right now. Yep. Because you got him.
Spoken like a true Madden player right there.
Yeah, get a turnover, shot play.
Yep.
Yeah, and they got him lined up at the top of the screen now. And it's one-on-one coverage.
Again, he's out there with Schwartz, so I don't know that they intentionally have Schwartz shadowing Robles. Man in motion. Hardy will keep it up the middle. Gets a couple. Pulled down by Shoemaker. Gain of a yard, maybe 2.
Yeah, I mean, as I was watching that matchup there between Schwartz and Robles, and even if Schwartz is on him like glue, even if he's in his pocket, there's a height advantage there, and there's not enough guys on the field to where no one does zone in 8-man, right? It's all man-to-man. So when you have a mismatch like that, I mean, he's bound to win one.
Hardy to Vargas, not much going there. Quintal got in there and broke it up initially. So a good start to the defensive possession here by Prairie. Let's see, this is realistically probably 4-down territory.
Yes,
so let's see if Prairie can come up with a couple of more stops and get the ball back here.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why this wouldn't be 4-down territory for Valley. So now, as you're thinking about what you're going to call here on 3rd and 9, you're probably looking at something like a quarterback power, which they've had success with, or you're just going to run it off the edge.
Hardy looking downfield, has Robles, makes Uhlencott, almost miss, but then good help.
Yeah.
Uhlencott able to hold on long enough till the troops got there to finish the tackle, and it'll be 4th down and about 3, maybe 5, looks like about 4.
Yeah, so I thought they were going to go to the ground there, but essentially that's
a long handoff right there.
Yeah,
a quick little curl route.
Yeah, just a quick little pop to Robles, pick up 4 or 5 yards, and now you can go anywhere here on 4th and short.
4th down, about 4 yards to go. Receiver in motion. Hardy trying to draw him off sides. They're going to change the play really quick. Prairie moves some personnel around, and here we go. Hardy coming to the left-hand side, cuts through one. He's not going to get it.
Yeah. Big stop for Prairie.
Shoemaker on the stop. A good defensive possession right there for Chris Shoemaker as he gets the stop on 4th and 4, gain of about 2. And Prairie will take over. 5:45 to go in the first half here. Valley leading on Gem State Game of the Week. I'm Will Henneke. He's Lucas Gebhardt. Paul Kingsbury down there somewhere.
Yeah,
he's probably telling 2 different people 2 different things right now.
Yeah. But yeah, kind of a cool thing we're starting here on Idaho Sports this year with these Game of the Weeks, trying different camera angles, got the time up on the scoreboard. So
we're living on the edge, man.
We sure are.
Handoff up the middle. Nice gain there. Up near a 1st down across the, whatever that would be, 35-yard line. That's Shoemaker again. Actually, it was Matt Wemhoff who made one of the tackles on the 4th down play, not Shoemaker.
Yeah, so
Wemhoff's having a nice game.
He is, yeah. He's got the touchdown earlier in the night. So right for Prairie, Wemhoff has got the two biggest plays of the game so far for Prairie with the touchdown and the fourth down stop here. Now for Prairie, got to go score here.
Yep. 5 minutes to go. McElroy to the left-hand side. A flag comes in as he's tackled. It's a gain of about 5 as it stands right now.
Ouch.
And it's going to be a hold against Prairie.
Yeah.
And they've gotten hit with a couple of untimely penalties, shall we say. And head coach Ryan Hasselstrom just kind of shaking his head in frustration because that was a nice first down gain that just got wiped away.
Yep, and this one's probably coming at the worst timing of all the flags they've gotten. This one's probably has the worst timing attached to it because this is the first time really since the opening minutes of the game where Prairie feels like they have a little bit of momentum. And now you just kind of kick some of that back over to the Valley sideline with that holding call. But you can get it right back if you're able to overcome that penalty. This is going to be first in
about 17
yeah.
here. Prairie in the shotgun. McElroy letting it fly. He's got a man out there, and it falls incomplete.
Yeah, he was open.
Wemhoff was trying to find the ball, and it just kind of floated, and he wasn't able to get his shoulders turned to make the catch.
Yeah, kind of the last thing you want to do when you're trying to make a catch like that. And those catches are tough because you're looking over one shoulder. Now all of a sudden you have to turn and look over the other shoulder, especially when it's overthrown because kids will just naturally just kind of backpedal to try to catch it. But when it's overthrown by you that much, you just have to turn and run with the ball and run to the spot. And so big missed opportunity there for Prairie.
Fumble on the snap. McElroy jumps on it.
Yeah, it's just little things right now offensively.
And we got a whistle,
Prairie.
and I think Prairie's going to call a timeout. 4:36 to go in the first half. Josh Hardy, a couple of touchdown runs, and a long touchdown pass to Nathan Christensen to stake Valley to this lead. A big game next week for Valley. You talk about, let's start to figure out who some of these teams are, as Valley goes to Hagerman, who comes up from the 1A ranks and brought back virtually their entire team. They started with a nice win last week, so they're 1-0, and I know a lot of people are saying, hey, don't sleep on that Hagerman team, and Valley's going to have to go down there along the Snake River and contend with the Pirates next week.
Yeah, and if they look as good as they have tonight, I think they'll be okay. No,
they've been good. They've been really good.
Yeah, they have. I mean, just looking at their drive chart here, 5 drives, 4 touchdowns. Tough to beat that. And when you're looking at the 2-point conversions, of those 4 touchdowns, they've gotten the 2-point conversion on 3 of them.
Yes. And those 2-point conversions can be, huge difference makers by the end of the game.
Especially in close games. Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm sure we beat that point to a dead horse all the time in these 8-man broadcasts, but it really does matter. Because
3rd down and 17, 2 receivers to the right-hand side for Prairie as McElroy lines up in the shotgun. Has one back, looks like Shoemaker right next to him. Takes the snap, back to throw, looking downfield, going to let it fly. He's got 2 guys out there. It is incomplete. Just threw it up and hoped for the best. Didn't get any luck on that one, and it'll be 4th down.
And another one here where you don't have a choice. You have to kick it. It's 4th and 15 plus. You just don't have a choice, and that's kind of been part of the issue tonight for Prairie. They haven't been good on 1st and 2nd down. Now they're in a hole on 3rd down. They really limit themselves in what they can call in these 3rd downs and these 3rd and longs. And then they just get way behind the sticks on 4th down, and they have to punt it.
Ulen caught under a little pressure, gets the punt away, and it takes a left turn at Albuquerque and rolls out of bounds. Valley will take over 1st down at about the 42-yard line. 4 minutes, 18 seconds to go. Coming up at halftime, we'll do a scoring recap. Maybe Paul will get another shot of us looking dumb up here.
Yeah, you can always count on that.
Yeah, we can. That's where I'm in luck. I got this nice cinder block post in front of me. So as long as I stay here, Paul can't really see me that well.
Okay, so now you got 4:18 to go before the half. Valley getting the ball back with a comfortable lead, but leads are never big enough.
Eight-man
in
football.
Yep.
Eight-man football. Things can change quickly. Hardy sweeping to the left, tucks it. He's going to run. Breaks one tackle, but then the C's catch up with him to make the tackle. Shoemaker, Levi Gehring, both in on the tackle, but not until almost 6 yards for Hardy. We don't have official stats other than we're keeping our own score tally here, so we can't give you the, oh, he's got 60 yards rushing or anything like that now. We can just kind of estimate. Two backs in the backfield with Hardy. Sweep coming to the left-hand side. Nice play on the edge. Looks like Quintal on the tackle as he stops Tegan Rosenborough. 6 foot, 175-pound senior, not quite able to get to the edge in the way that Quintal grabbed his jersey. Rosenborough's jersey just went from a large to an XL. It got stretched out a little bit.
Yeah, it did, but that's a good job catching up to the ball carrier, and now with this 3rd down, 3rd and 7.
Pass is complete. Tackle on the edge by McElroy. It's going to be close, and it will be a 1st down. Gain of about 8 on the play. Simple little pitch and catch there. Hardy to Christensen. Approaching 3 minutes to go here in the first half as Valley right back to the line. Now they'll look over to the sideline, get their play call.
Yeah, and Christensen, again, just a bigger frame, so McElroy's going to have to stay in front of the receiver.
Hardy pulls, comes to the left-hand side, breaks one tackle, but then steps out of bounds. Looks like he's right at the 1st down mark. Let's wait for an official call.
35-yard line.
And they're going to say 1st down. So a nice run there by Hardy, who I'm going to guess has got to be sitting somewhere in the range of about 80 rushing yards at this point. He does have a 22-yard touchdown run and a 1-yard touchdown run, plus a handful of those 5 to 10-yard carries.
Yeah, I would think he is probably at least up there.
Hand off up the middle. Vargas, not a whole lot going. Uhlencott comes in, makes the stop. Gain of maybe about a half a yard. About 2.5 minutes to go here in the first half.
If there's one area that Valley probably feels they could improve offensively, it's running it essentially off center or between the guards. We really haven't found a whole lot of success. Success there, what that looks like is you're talking 3-4 yards. But a lot of those runs have been 1-2 yards, no gain kind of plays. And they get a sack here. So
Hardy able to squirm forward for a yard or two before Quintal again comes in on the stop, as all of a sudden he's starting to pile up some good defensive stops.
Yeah.
Inside 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Valley with a comfortable lead for the moment.
So what I would do here if I'm Valley is I don't know if they'll do it or not. This is just what I would do. I'd bleed the clock here, with 3rd and long, and you could take this thing pretty close to a minute, maybe a minute 10 if you wanted to.
Hardy dropping back, center screen, Robles with it, and a lot of room. Across the 30, a good tackle as McElroy just sticks his head in there. Stops him a little bit short of the 1st down, but gained about 15 yards there, and you go from potentially 4th and a ton to 4th and 1.
Great play call there to drop the mid-screen. That's my favorite play in football, the middle screen, especially when the quarterback is drifting back like that. Everyone gets rushed up the field, and then you just dump it right in behind them.
4th and a yard. Inside, it's going to be close to the 1st down, as that was Zamudio, Jonathan Zamudio, the senior, 285 pounds. It's right at the line.
I don't know.
They may have to measure this.
Yeah.
They're going to say he got it.
Wow.
So if he did, he didn't get it by much.
Yeah, and we're looking at this, granted, from an angle.
Right, from a long way away.
Yeah, but initially it looked like he had got the stop. I'm surprised they didn't measure, but I guess you don't need to measure if the stick is on the 35 and the ball is sitting on the 35-yard line, because that is your measuring stick, is the paint.
We got a flag, and we're going to get an offsides called on Prairie, and that might have been Uhlencott again, a little bit anxious on that edge.
So now flirting here with the end of the half, 35 seconds. I think Valley's got a couple timeouts in their pocket.
I think they got them all. I know Prairie has taken 2.
And you still got 20 yards or so to go. So let's say you have 3 timeouts. You're probably looking at 5, maybe 6 plays you have.
Pass deflected away. Good work defensively by number 2, Levi Gehring.
Yeah, great play by Gehring there to stick a hand up and break up what would have been a touchdown. Especially if you're able to keep him out of the end zone before the half.
16 seconds to go.
And remember, Valley gets the ball first.
They do.
To start the second half,
They do.
too. So if you're Valley, you get a touchdown here, and you get another one coming out of the break.
Yeah. 2nd down and 5. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Hardy over the middle. Robles inside the 10. He will score. Touchdown. 30 yards. Beg your pardon, 20 yards.
And what timing with 10 seconds to go in the half, too. So Valley's now scored a touchdown with 7 seconds to go in the first quarter and a touchdown with 10 seconds to go in the second quarter.
And you mentioned something to keep in mind now is Valley will get the ball to start the second half with a chance to really throw a haymaker. Hardy veering to the right, gets behind his guards, and Prairie is able to stuff him there, so no good. So 36-8, Valley with the lead. Hardy with 2 touchdown throws, 2 touchdown runs for Valley. And, I mean, he was an all-conference player. He was an all-state player last year, so it's not like, it's not like this man needed any kind of a coming-out party. People very well aware of who he is. But he's putting on a bit of a show so far here tonight, as is this entire Valley offense.
Yeah, it's the Valley offense from top to bottom. I mean, you're looking at this chart here. There's been 1 drive that they haven't scored a touchdown on. Now, if you're Prairie, the flip side of this is this coaching staff is going to have to look for little wins, because at this point now for Prairie, it's a confidence thing.
And it's a veteran coaching staff. You're talking.
Sure.
I mean, Hasselstrom was talking about how he kind of got the band back together coming into this year with Teal Bruner and Matt Elvin as his assistant coaches. Matt Elvin, by the way, you talk about the 6 degrees of separation. My dad knows his father-in-law. They're both farmers up in Eastern Washington.
Oh, well, there you go.
How's that for your small world moment?
Yeah.
Or they at least know who each other is. Let's put it that way. They're going to try that short onside kick again. Let's see who got it. Valley recovered it, but I don't think it went quite 10 yards.
Yeah,
so
it went about 8.5.
Prairie will take over. Still 10 seconds to go, so hey, what the hey, take a shot.
So, 10 seconds left, so might as well throw it up, see what happens. Although
look on your screen right now, you see Zane Hobart, the head coach of the Kendrick Tigers. They've won a couple football games in the past few years.
Shit, just a couple.
They're playing down here in the Valley tomorrow, as they'll play in Homedale against Oakley. And we talked about it on the 8-Man podcast. They got some new players in some big roles, and all they did last week was put up 86 points. No big deal.
That's it.
So 10 seconds to go. Let's see what they do. McElroy back to throw. He's going to wind up. He's going to try. Can't do it. Now he'll run. Picks up a few. 2 seconds. There's our horn located about 10 feet to my right. And we have hit halftime. Quite a show for the Valley Vikings here at Fruitland High School. Through 1 half of play, Valley leads Prairie. The score, 36-8. We're going to take a timeout here on IdahoSports.com, and we'll be back with some halftime fun and frivolity when.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that. and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
This year, help dreams come true with the Ideal Idaho 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits, ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, K-12 education, and student loan repayment. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org if you would like to learn more.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles. Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
P1FCU has been serving vandals across the Northwest for decades. Now, we're investing even more in Idaho students. We are helping make the Beams financial literacy program available to all students and providing student athletes access to money management support through Elevate Idaho. Without our members, we couldn't impact these students' financial wellness. Become a member and get your exclusive Vandal debit card to help support Vandal Nation. Visit p1fcu.org/govandals to learn more.
Those of us who devote our lives to the animals we love can recall a kind of dawning, like a seed planted deep within us and it taken root and begun to grow. It's why our family built a company dedicated to supporting the animals we all care for and this lifestyle we share.
This year, help dreams come true with the Ideal Idaho 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits, ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, K-12 education, and student loan repayment. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org if you would like to learn more.
Welcome back, everybody. Logan Green here with you this time. You just saw that commercial for Ideal Idaho's College Savings Program. Just wanted to quickly let you know, as you've probably seen if you follow in on the 8-Man Prepcast, they've been a sponsor the last couple of weeks of that, and just launched, just live, is the $529 giveaway that is accompanying there's the Idaho 529 savings account. The $529 you could win would go straight into you or your child's 529 savings account. And get this, it is only for currently attending or will attend 1A and 2A schools. So it is an 8-man school exclusive. It's not just football players, right? That's might be a little confusing because it's on the 8-Man Prepcast, but volleyball players, anybody's eligible. If you've only got kindergartners and first graders, you are eligible if they're going to be attending, Prairie, Valley, or any other. If they attend a school district,
don't even have to have a football team.
No,
don't even have. Nope. It could be Genesis Prep.
That's right. If you are planning to attend a 1A or 2A school for high school, this is for you. So if you're listening out there, if you're watching in on this game tonight from an 8-man community, you have that opportunity here. Just wanted to let you know about that one more time. If you haven't, you can go to idsaves.org/IdahoSports. There's even a landing page for it with all the rules and registration, stuff like that. So just be sure to check that out, idsaves.org/IdahoSports.
All right, thank you, Logan. Will Henneke and Lucas Gebhardt with you. Halftime at Fruitland High School, the Valley Vikings with a 36-8 lead over the Prairie Pirates when we get ready to go in the second half. You're tangled, right? Oh, there we go.
What would I do without you?
You'd probably be a lot more successful in life. Valley will get the ball to start the second half. But first of all, special thank you to Subert Excavators. They're a proud supporter of all area athletes up in the Cottonwood area. Rock crushing has been their business for over 50 years. Centrally located in Cottonwood, they specialize in all crushing-related work, but their emphasis has been crushing in hard rock quarries, sand and gravel sources, screening and mixing, agglomerating, and washing materials. Located at 604 King Street in Cottonwood, or you can give them a call at 208-962-3501. Go Prairie. So thank you very much. Also, P1FCU, thank you for your support tonight as well in helping to make this Gem State Game of the Week happen. Lucas, we mentioned it a little bit in the first half, but just a quick summary from you, and then we'll go into the scoring recap. I don't know that I would call it a stunner that Valley has a lead.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people would be surprised if they click on and they see this score, though.
Yeah, without a doubt. 36-6. I mean, Valley has taken it to Prairie. From, I'll say, the third play of the game, because Prairie's one touchdown came 2 plays into the game as the second play from scrimmage. They got the ball. Well, Valley, who got the ball first? Prairie got the So literally the second play of the game. Prairie had this long touchdown catch from Wemhoff. They got the 2-point conversion. After that, it's been all Valley. You look at this drive chart that we're keeping, and it's been, for Prairie, it's been touchdown, punt, 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 fumble on a punt, and punt. That's been the offense for Prairie. And on the other side for Valley, it's been touchdown, 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 turnover on downs, touchdown. So it's the complete flip polar opposite.
Prairie did take a lead less than a minute into the game on a 63-yard touchdown pass. It was a short route. Briggs Rambo got it into the hands of Matt Wemhoff, and Wemhoff, the senior, just turned the corner, ran through a tackle, 63 yards for a touchdown. And right out of the chute, Prairie had a quick lead. Just almost exactly 2 minutes later, Valley tied it on a 1-yard touchdown run by Josh Hardy. And then Valley just kind of took off from there. About 4 minutes later, it was Thomas Vargas, 4th and short, a 54-yard touchdown run where the seas parted and he just jogged on home. That made it 16-8. And then on one of the last plays with just 7 seconds left in the first quarter, it was Hardy from 22 yards out calling his own number again. That made it 22-8 after 1 quarter. In the second quarter, Valley scores 2 more times. First of all, 81 yards. Hardy on the money to Nathan Christensen. Christensen, the 6'1 senior, just ran under it and won the foot race to the end zone. That made it 30-8. And then in the closing seconds of the half, just 10 seconds remaining in the half, Hardy's second touchdown pass of the quarter. This one to Pedro Robles, the senior, from 20 yards out. 2-point conversion was no good. So 36-8 the score. Valley with the lead. We already talked about Valley on the road next week at Hagerman. Prairie goes back home next week, and they take on a very interesting team up north, the Lapwai Wildcats. The Wildcats, a good opening week win over Genesee, and then they come back in week 2 against Kamei, and Kamei got on them pretty good. But this Lapwai team, always, you never have to question whether or not they're going to have athletes who can make plays. Jerice McCormick, Whitefoot, you go up and down the list. They got kids that can just flat out play.
Yeah, and you kind of see that regardless of the sport, too. It's
basketball.
Basketball especially. They had a player that set the all-time Idaho scoring record out of any classification.
And he's playing D1 basketball this year.
And he's playing Division I basketball, right. So those are the kind of athletes that Lapwai has. So
you think about that with Lapwai with basketball. And if you've never been to Lapwai before,
you blink and you drive
800 people, 1,000 people. I don't know what the official population of the town is, but you had Emmett Taylor played Division I basketball. You had Ivory Miles Williams played very high level NAIA basketball.
And is
Titus,
coaching 5A basketball
coaching 5A basketball now.
Here at Rocky,
Titus Yearout, Division I basketball player at the University of Idaho, and now Case Wynot, Division I basketball player at Washington State University. For a town that's about the size of this football field, that's incredible. That is amazing.
Yeah, and it's just what they do up there. Those guys can hoop, you know.
And so can their girls. That's the crazy part.
And both their teams too play the same kind of style where they'll press you the whole way up the floor, and both have been able to shoot for just years and years. I mean, it seems like they have the same team pretty much every year. Point being,
who's going to be the guy that scores 30 points a game this year? Because there's going to be somebody.
Right.
There's going to be somebody. It's just who is it?
Yeah. And so overall point being here is Lapway has athletes. They always do, and so don't expect them to not have athletes this year just because it's another year.
All right, we'll take a timeout on IdahoSports.com. When we come back, we'll get you ready for the second half of action. Valley up big. You're watching Gem State Game of the Week. Thank you, P1FCU.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
This year, help dreams come true with the Ideal Idaho 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits, ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, K-12 education, and student loan repayment. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes, and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org if you would like to learn more.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles, stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
I'm always looking for new ways to save, but I haven't found anything better than my P1FCU Ascend checking account. It's a free account that earns 3.5% APY of your average monthly balance. That could feed your coffee obsession for 2 weeks. Not only am I earning money, but I also have all the great features of a checking account, like mobile deposit and mobile wallet. Open your Ascend checking account at p1fcu.org and start earning today. APY is the annual percentage yield.
Those of us who devote our lives to the animals we love can recall a kind of dawning, like a seed planted deep within us and it taken root and begun to grow. It's why our family built a company dedicated to supporting the animals we all care for and this lifestyle we share.
Welcome back to Gem State Game Night, Game of the Week here on IdahoSports.com. I'm Will Henneke. He's Lucas Gebhardt. Somewhere field level, we have Paul Kingsbury. It looks like he's over talking with Kendrick head coach Zane Hobart. We were wondering if they were tuned in watching this game. No, they're here. Yeah. They're literally on the field because they play tomorrow down here in the Valley as Kendrick will take on Oakley. That game at 4 o'clock in Homedale, which is about half an hour, give or take, south of here. A good meet-in-the-middle matchup tonight, a good meet-in-the-middle matchup tomorrow. We got a minute to go here in the halftime segment. 36-8 is the score.
Yeah, and kind of seeing these meet-in-the-middle games sort of take control a little bit of these 1A and 2A non-con schedules. And, what a great way to do it, to meet in the Boise area. You get a team from usually up north or a team from the Magic Valley or eastern Idaho. And never saw this before. The Max Preps literally changed everything in terms of the playoff seeding. Because, before, a game like this may not necessarily have mattered too much. But now you have, with the Max Prep seedings, these games do matter. Even in week 2 or week 3, in terms of especially teams that are right on the edge, right? These are the games that can kind of decide who is making it and who isn't come state playoff time.
Let's see, Logan, are we doing anything creative here, or are we just starting the second half? Well, looks like we're just starting the second half.
Oh, we switched camera angles.
Yep.
Did you see that?
Prairie will kick off in the all-black uniforms, and I just had a member of the Valley coaching staff go by and said, hey, just so you know, it's about 30 degrees cooler outside of this box. And I'm like, cool.
Well, we're sweating up here, so.
I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing for me. I just don't know that I can sweat enough. I'm not trying to make weight for wrestling or anything here.
Right.
Prairie's going to kick off. They're in the all-black going from left to right here. Valley in the white will receive. Looks like Hardy is the deep man waiting for the kickoff. As Gehring is going to shoot it out to the right side. We'll see, and it doesn't go 10 yards. So it looked like it was going to for a second, and then it kind of veered to the right.
Yeah, it just kind of checked up, didn't it? And Prairie was waiting to jump on it, too.
They were. They had two guys there, and then the ball just said, never mind. And so Valley will take over. Neither team has kicked deep all game. And it's almost kind of like, and I don't know if you're an arena football guy or not, but I used to work for the Boise Burn when they existed back in the day.
Yeah.
And they had a head coach who said he liked to onside kick, saying, okay, if they only go 10 yards and score, I get the ball back that much faster.
Sure.
I thought that was kind of a weird thing to say, but the numbers backed it up for him.
I mean, you better get a couple.
Yeah. Or mix in a stop.
Well, don't you kick off from your own
goal line
in arena football,
the goal
right?
line.
So if you don't get it, you're literally giving them the ball at the goal
in
line.
the red zone, basically in the red zone. Vargas on the carry picks up a yard or two. Carter Shears on the stop. It'll be second down. The interior of that Prairie defensive line has done okay. Valley has had some luck to the edges. Well, evidenced by the fact they're at 36-8. Hardy takes the snap, fades to his left, takes a shot down the field, caught by Robles, going to be a first down.
Just seems like they can go to Robles anytime they want, and it's just
Schwartz's coverage hasn't even been that bad.
And that's the thing. That's the thing is he's on him, been on him pretty much the whole night, but it's just such a mismatch in favor of Valley that it just almost doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's just got the size advantage, and he's been able to use it. So 1st and 10 for Valley. Ball at about the 35, Hardy to the right. Cuts back. Now he's going to try and cut back to the left, but Uhlencott able to drag him down. Good pursuit there by Prairie.
Yeah, and a good job keeping them in their lanes, too, and taking away the cutback lanes. That's really where defenses get burned in 8-man, is a cutback, and now defense is over-pursued.
Half the field is open again.
Yeah, right.
So 2nd down and about 9 here, just underway in the second half. Thank you to P1 FCU for helping make this Gem State Game of the Week possible tonight from Fruitland High School. A 2A 8-man clash. Hardy coming back to the right, trying to set up a screen. Dropped off, pass is complete. Turning up the field, heading for the end zone. It's going to be a touchdown.
Yeah, Yeah, that's Andrew.
35 yards.
And that's Andrew Lukes, the wide receiver, providing the block down the field, which was the final piece that Valley needed to extend this lead even further, 42-8. Wow. I don't think either one of us saw it coming.
No. Well-executed play right there, well drawn up, well executed. And I mean, I guarantee you, like I said, I mean, Zane Hobart's here, okay?
Yeah.
Coach, Brennan Jones from Oakley, if he's not here, he's probably watching. There are probably some coaches up north, if they're not in the midst of a game. They may not be watching now. The two-point conversion is good, and that makes it 44-8. But point being, I think if anyone was wondering about Valley, okay, they battled Butte last week, Butte County, one of the top one or two teams in the state, depending on which poll you look at, okay? So they hung in there, and then they come out here, and I don't think anybody's questioning that Prairie's a pretty good football team, right?
Sure.
And Valley, at the moment, is just laying it on them.
Yeah, taking it to them. I mean, it's early stages, third quarter, and they're up 44-8. And they've done it a couple ways. They've done it. I think defensively, I've been more impressed defensively than I have been offensively with Valley.
They've played well.
And, that's not to take anything away from what they've done on offense, too, because they've looked really good on offense, too. But it's just in the trenches. Valley's winning it on both sides of the ball, partially led by this defensive front. And Prairie just can't do anything on offense. And
we've hit the point of the game where our production crew is watching the BYU-SMU game on ESPN.
Yeah. Friday Night Lights.
Valley to kick it off, and there's the first deep kick of the game. Wemhoff will chase after it, and it will roll out of bounds. So Prairie will start up at the 35-yard line. 10:25 to go here in the third quarter. Just for clarification's sake, if the lead extends past 40 points, we hit the running clock stand. That is the point.
Yeah.
So if Valley is able to make a stop and then turn and score, we will go to a running clock where an incomplete pass, it'll just keep running. First down, it'll just keep running. You can stop it on timeouts and whatnot, and I believe it. Well, in fact, I know it stops on a score. But for the most part, you get to a running clock, it goes pretty quick. Hand off over the left-hand side. Good run there by Uhlencott. He'll pick up a first down. He's had a couple of pretty nice runs tonight, but Valley, for the most part, has limited his explosiveness. I mean, here's a guy that ran for 135 yards last week and 3 touchdowns, and they've kept him mostly in check.
Yeah, and really kind of outside of that run, and you can see the frustration because they ripped off 15, 20 yards there, and Uhlencott still kind of got his head down. That's just kind of what Valley has done to this offense is even those big chunk plays. It's still kind of frustrating for Prairie. Just
Shoemaker, Chris Shoemaker on the carry, cuts back. He gains about 5. So good start to the drive here for the Pirates. And I mean, since we said, another Valley score would invoke the running clock, reminder, 8-man football.
True.
Things can change.
Quickly, too. And we've seen it happen.
We've got a flag, and I think we're going to have encroachment on the Valley defense, I think. Looked like the defensive tackle that was lined up over the ball was maybe a little too much over the ball.
Yeah, and
that'll be, I think, a first down.
I know it's sort of a cliche, but even when you're getting beat like this for Prairie, it's still, you feel like if 4, maybe 5 or 6 plays would have gone differently, you don't have the penalty here. You don't jump off sides there. You pick up the third down here.
McElroy thought about pitching and then realized he was about to have it ripped right out of his hands. So he pulled it down, and he winds up gaining about 9 yards, 10 yards. It'll be close to a first down. So a good drive in the works here for Prairie.
Yeah, and they're moving the ball here, but just to finish up that last point, remember it was Valley's first possession of the game. Prairie almost got an interception. Kid went up, almost Odell Beckham did. What if they get that interception?
Mm-hmm.
How does this whole game change?
It is weird when you think about a game in that context. There was a game a couple of weeks ago when Grace played Oakley. Oakley was down, I believe it was 20-8. Final 2 minutes of the first half, they run a play down to the 10-yard line. Kind of a 50-50 fumble call goes against him. Uhlencott, he gets down close to another first down. But 50-50 call as to whether or not it was a fumble or down by contact.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say that, and the call goes against Oakley, so Grace gets the ball. Grace goes down and scores right before halftime. So instead of, say, maybe 20-14 at halftime, now it's 28-8 or 28-6 or whatever it was. That's a big swing.
Yep. Yeah, and the point I'm making here is even in games like this where the score right now is this lopsided.
McElroy, right-hand side, gets knocked down by Hardy, but again, it's about a 7 or 8 yard, and this is easily. And take out the scoring drive, which was essentially one big play by Wemhoff. Easily Prairie's best drive of the game.
Yeah, without a doubt. And they're going with a little bit of tempo here too. But they're gonna have to do that.
Handoff up the middle. That's Shoemaker. He gets down inside the 10. It's going to be 1st and goal right about the 5-yard line for Prairie. 7.5 minutes to go, approaching the midway point of quarter number 3. Gem State game of the week. Will Henneke and Lucas Gebhardt with you up here in the warm booth.
Yeah, no kidding. It is warm up here.
McElroy pushes ahead, gets about 2. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Warm up here, but as we are hearing.
Does Paul have his mic on?
We're
getting a hiss here. Run up the middle, and that's going to be a touchdown for Prairie. I had my head turned. I believe that was Shoemaker. Am I correct?
Yep.
So Shoemaker, the short touchdown run. 5'10", 160-pound junior.
So another go for 2, and when you have this many steps to take back, so they fumbled the pitch, but good drive from Prairie. I know they didn't get the 2-point conversion, but that's what they've wanted to do the whole game. That's Prairie football.
Yeah,
there.
That's a really good drive right there. Really good drive. So 44-14 now the score. 6:57 to go here in the third quarter. Lights taking effect here at Fruitland High School. Fruitland Grizzlies, part of the now 4A Snake River Valley Conference with Homedale, Weiser, McCall, for those of you who are big followers. They had just a sports run in general about 10 years ago that is unlikely to be matched in the near future when you're talking about football and baseball. They just annihilated pretty much everyone they played for several years.
Yeah, and it hasn't necessarily been that way the last few years for them, but
they should be back on the up tilt this year. And
I
the
think
pendulum always swings. It always swings.
Yeah,
I mean, you look at a team like Parma right now. Parma's down. There will come a time when Parma's back up.
Right.
It will happen.
Right.
It's just a matter of whether or not you or I are alive to see it.
True. Yeah. But even Fruitland now, I saw them. It might have even been exactly a year ago. They played in the Battle in Boise, which is actually going on this weekend over at Albertson Stadium, where they play about 3 or 4 games on the blue at Albertson Stadium. But I got a chance to see Fruitland in that showcase, I guess, last year, if that's what you want to call it. Fruitland's got a young quarterback. I think he was
Vidlak. Titus Vidlak is his name.
He might have been a freshman. He was a freshman or a sophomore.
He was a freshman last year.
Okay, so sophomore now this year. Kid looked good. I think the future's bright at Fruitland.
That kick went deep. Was grabbed by Daniel Zamudio, the junior. He returns it out across the, it looks like it's just right inside the 30. 1st and 10 for Valley. 6:48 to go in the third quarter. The Vikings with a big lead here, and if Prairie has any hopes of battling their way back into it, it starts on this side of the ball. They've got to come up with not just stops, probably a turnover or 2.
Yeah, they probably need a turnover or 2, or some 3 and outs. Either way, they got to get the ball back quickly.
That play looked disjointed from the go, but Hardy going to sweep to the right, and boy, he can scoot. He gets around the corner. Schwartz able to trip him up, but a nice gain there by Hardy, who we were estimating in the first half. We don't have official statistics here, but we were estimating he was probably in the ballpark of about 80 yards. I think he's comfortably over 100 at this point.
Yeah.
As that ball moves across midfield for the Vikings.
Kind of runs exactly like his older brother, too. You know, I kind of remember watching that back in my East Idaho days, doing games up at the Dome. Had
Graduate
a lot
of Idaho
playoffs.
State University here.
Yeah, that's right. But, you know, I saw a lot of Valley games back in the day when I was doing games in college, and cause they played at the Dome a lot because they did a lot of
stack those
games.
playoff games.
They would do 8 playoff games in a weekend, right? So I got an opportunity to watch a few of those Valley State playoff runs, and runs almost exactly like him.
Vargas on the carry there, gets a couple, second down. You're starting to feel a little bit of that draft, the cooler air draft, slowly starting to move in.
Your window's open.
Well, I'm the talent. I should get all the benefits here. Pass to Robles, complete near the first down marker. Couple jukes. Good patience there by the Prairie defense as they let him jab step about 10 times and then just went and tackled him. But Robles, he's having himself a big game.
He's got to be right around 10 catches.
He's got to be close. He's got to be close.
Yeah.
He has 1 touchdown on the game. A couple other. He had that big catch that took him from 3rd and 15 to, picked up a first down. You talk about plays. If that goes the other way, maybe things are a little different.
Yeah, another one of those plays exactly that we were just talking about.
Hardy sweeping to that left-hand side, gets the edge again. He's going to take off. He's going to score. There's a flag down. I don't think it's going to count.
Yeah,
and the fact that the entire Valley team is just standing there like, hey, nice job.
Yeah.
We'll wait for you here.
I'm not running down there.
No. So what would have been Hardy's 6th total touchdown of the game, it would have been his 3rd rush to go with 3 passes. That one is going to be negated due to a penalty. But we talked about it in the first half. If you're just joining us, Valley with that quarterback sweep, that quarterback power, whatever you want to call it, to that left-hand side.
It's been there all night.
They've had success all night. Hardy back to throw. Screen to Robles, that center screen again. Gets 1 block, cuts to the outside. He's headed towards the end zone. Is he going to get there? No, he's cut off and dragged down. Good hustle by Wemhoff, who appears to be shaken up.
Yeah, he got tackled kind of awkwardly there.
Head coach Ryan Hasselstrom heading down to check on Wemhoff, who's had a nice game. And you're right, the way he kind of wrapped him up, I could see maybe a I don't know if you can hyperextend your shoulder, but the way he landed, just a lot of pressure came down on. Oh, now they're playing the cramp game.
Yep. I was gonna say that's a cramp stretch.
See, you complain about your window being closed. I have concrete bricks in front of me which screen me from time to time.
Yeah, those are a little tough to look through, I think.
And my vision ain't that good to begin with. I'm an old man here.
We're really fighting uphill now.
Yes. Logan, our producer, flipping through some other games being webcast right now on IdahoSports.com. CUNA leading Timberline 14-7 at halftime. That's the score there. That game obviously happening here in the Treasure Valley.
Yeah, over at CUNA and Timberline, winners on a game-winning field goal last week. There were a couple teams in the Valley that were winners on game
The
winners.
last-second kicks.
Yeah, them and
Boise beat Capital on a last-second kick.
Yep.
Broke something like a 32-game losing streak of some sort.
Yeah. Well, Timberline, too, has been down recently, but Timberline's got a nice receiver that's getting some looks at the next level right now that I think's helping elevate them.
Sure.
They got a coaching staff that's entering year 3 or 4 now, so the kids are kind of used to the system, used to the coaching staff, used to the language and things that they use there. Really strong junior class coming in this year for Timberline, too, that I think is vaulting them up a little bit as well.
1st and 20 after the penalty for Valley. Wemhoff was able to get up, kind of limped off the field. The problem with cramps is once you get one, they're kind of hard to defeat.
Yeah.
Hardy, deep throw up the right side. Pretty good coverage. Looks like it was caught anyway. Fantastic catch. Is that Reese Balls on the reception?
Yeah, that was. Yep.
Reese Balls, great catch. Great name, too, especially for an athlete.
Yeah.
6-foot junior made that catch in traffic, and you go from 1st and 20 thinking you're way behind the sticks. You got a first down.
Throw it up. Let's see what happens. And in coverage, that was Rambo, who did about as well as you could expect for a guy that, is playing man-on-man coverage kind of out on the island like that. Even when you get beat like that, just throw your hands up, and still came up with the catch.
Hardy gets it on the out. Pass is complete. That's number 5, Andrew Lukes, on the reception. Picks up not quite first down yardage, but a good first down gain of about 7 yards. Inside of 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Pretty fast-moving third quarter.
Yeah, this is only third drive.
Third drive.
Third drive.
Touchdown
Combined
one
between
way,
the two
touchdown
teams.
the other, and now Valley driving back down in the red zone where frankly, they've kind of lived.
Yeah, they have. Yep.
4 receivers, all spread out. Hardy, lone man in the backfield. Vargas in motion. Hardy looks like he's going to sweep to the left. Pretty good job stringing it out there by Prairie. Uhlencott gets his hands on him, and then the helps arrives, and it'll be no gain. Third down for the Vikings.
Yeah, that's a good job pursuing there for Prairie. Prairie, I think, this game's been fairly even for the most part after the break. In this third quarter, if you reset things, it'd be touchdown. So even for the most part there. But, Valley probably doesn't have the pedal to the metal quite the same way that they did in the first half, which, is understandable. But Prairie has been impressive in this second half that they haven't just rolled over.
Up the middle, that's Hardy. He's going to run through a tackle, and he's going to score. Touchdown. 15 yards, I believe. That's what we're going to call it. Hardy, about a 15-yard run.
That's his third rushing touchdown of the night, too.
6 total touchdowns with 2:35 to go here in the third quarter. Valley going to go for 2. Hardy looking. And it is good.
Yeah.
I totally lost sight of the ball there for a second, but it is good. 52-14 now. Valley continues to lead.
Yeah, that was just a pretty simple pitch and catch, slant route across the middle. Drake Jones, the senior wide receiver, wide open there in the end zone.
That fly that tried to land on my eyeball earlier just tried to go in my mouth.
Oh, jeez. Just tracking you down.
I don't know what this dude's problem is, but he and we're going to step outside after the game, and we're going to settle this like men.
Right. You and the fly.
Yeah, the fly. I've got size, he's got quickness. Let's be honest here.
Right.
So now Valley will kick things off 52-14. We mentioned they go on the road next week to Hagerman, take on a pretty good Pirates team in a game that could go quite a long ways into shaping that Snake River Conference, that 2A District 4 Snake River Conference. You got Raft River, you got Oakley, you got Hagerman. I mean, you got Murtaugh, who I think's not too bad.
Right.
You got some pretty good football teams down there. I think Glens Ferry might be okay, and people are sleeping on them just because there are so many other teams.
Yeah, sure. And, Glens Ferry, they should know this. They listen to your guys' podcast on the way up here. They won last week, yeah? So
they didn't play, actually.
They were smoked out.
They were. They were one of the teams that did not play. Shoemaker picks up the kick, and he just kind of keeps the legs going. He just doesn't really have anywhere to go, and he's eventually pulled down.
Yeah. But, we have these games of the weeks going now where we're trying different camera angles, really trying to beef up the production end of our broadcast.
And then they put us on the mic.
Yeah, no kidding, right.
Talk about knocking down property values.
Right. And especially put us on a 52-14 game. Let's see what happens. What could go wrong here?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. I'm being attacked by a fly and giving better play-by-play of the fly assaults than the actual game action. So Prairie football, 2.5 minutes to go here. Ball inside their own 25. And we got all kinds of whistles here, and I think we're going to have a timeout. Yep.
Yeah.
Valley going to take a timeout before they get called for a penalty. And we're going to take a quick timeout here on IdahoSports.com. 52-14 late third quarter.
P1FCU has been serving Vandals across the Northwest for decades. Now, we're investing even more in Idaho students. We are helping make the Beams Financial Literacy Program available to all students and providing student athletes access to money management support through Elevate Idaho. Without our members, we couldn't impact these students' financial wellness. Become a member and get your exclusive Vandal debit card to help support Vandal Nation. Visit p1fcu.org/govandals to learn more.
I'm Will Henneke. He's Lucas Gebhardt. This is the Gem State Game of the Week here on IdahoSports.com. Thank you to P1FCU and our friends at Subert Excavation for making this happen. 2:26 to go in the third quarter. Valley up big. Hand off to the right-hand side. Not much going there. Loss of a couple. It'll be second down.
Yeah, story of the night. You know, Prairie just has not been able to run the ball outside of their last drive, really.
That Valley defensive front has done a really nice job, and I'm looking at it here. Diego Arteaga is out there right now. I'm sure I'm probably going to miss somebody at some point, but we mentioned Jonathan Zamudio has been in on some big plays. That defensive front, Thomas Vargas right now at a defensive end position, they've been just dynamic. McElroy back to throw. He's going to take a shot deep. He's got a man out there. All kinds of contact.
It'll be PI.
I mean, this could be PI on either guy, really, because, I mean, it was
that's a good point.
The quintessential more than hand fighting. I mean, they were borderline Greco-Roman wrestling while the ball was in the air.
I think it's going to be defensive PI. And
oh, they're going to call it on Prairie.
Okay. All right. You know, to your point, it could have gone either way because the receiver had to come back to the ball, right?
Yeah, and that might have been who initiated the contact flag, because
yeah.
there was plenty of grabbing, tugging, pushing, all that stuff to go around.
And the point there is when you come back to the ball, the defender has the right to that ground too.
He does,
right?
As long as he's making a play on the ball, he has the opportunity to go for the ball.
And so when you're coming back to the ball like that, you know, the defender sees it's underthrown. He is obviously trying to get back to the ball to make a play to get an interception. And so you have hand fighting, and to your point, who initiated the contact.
Okay, second and a ton here for Prairie.
Move the ball back to the 10-yard line.
Inside 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. McElroy under center, has one deep back behind him. Sends a man in motion. That man gets reset now on the left edge of the line. They'll sweep it to the left-hand side. Nice grab. Is that Hewlin caught on the carry, or is that Gehring? Levi Gehring.
Yeah, Gehring.
The best part of that play might have been the catch. The pitch was a little bit out in front of him. He snagged it with one hand. That was nice.
Had to reach down to about his knee to grab that. That's what you get when you pitch it to a wide receiver, right?
Good hands. And he picked up about 8 or 9 yards back. Still third in a bunch. Two receivers split to the far side of the field as McElroy is in the shotgun. Rambo started at quarterback. McElroy has seen the bulk of the playing time, though, at the position. McElroy under pressure, lets it fly. It's going to fall well short as he got hit as he let it go. I believe that was Jones on the pressure.
Yeah, and the pressure was almost immediate, too. And it's been that left side, or I guess it would be the right side as you're looking at it from the quarterback.
The quarterback's right-hand side, yes.
Yeah. And the pressure has come from that side of the line basically all night. Prairie's had a tough time shutting that down.
4th and 13. Prairie does have a man deep to punt, and it will be Uhlencott again. He's hit a couple good ones. There's a good line drive. It's going to take a friendly roll and stay in bounds. Robles just gets away from it wisely. And it's touchdown by Prairie inside the Valley 40-yard line. So with 1:14 to go here in the third quarter. This is the point where, again, we need to bring up a touchdown here by the Vikings would trigger the running clock. For those of you who don't know, once a lead gets to 40 points, they used to just end games, and I much prefer this.
Yeah, I would too.
Especially from a coach, because at this point, on both sides, whether you're way up or you're way down, you've got some kids on the bench that maybe don't get a lot of varsity playing time.
Sure.
And even if the clock's running, if I can go get you a half dozen snaps, if I can go get you 10 snaps.
Might be the difference between getting a letter and not getting a letter for a kid, too.
And maybe being ready to contribute later in the season.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, we got cue the little breaking news. We'll bring it to you after this play.
First 10 for the Vikings.
Okay.
Boy, the suspense now.
Well, I'm trying to figure it out here.
They just delayed the snap a little bit. So
Valley with the football. Hardy's going to take it on a draw. Flag down, and Prairie wrangles him down for almost no gain. Third quarter score from Butte County. You ready for this one?
Let's hear it.
Carey 40, Butte County 20.
Wow. So that's a Butte County and a 20-point all. Now, remember a couple weeks ago, you and I was down the sideline. You were up in the booth.
Logos, Butte County.
Yeah, Butte County was down a couple scores at halftime in that game, too. Came back and won.
Yep. So penalty on Valley will negate the run. That is the first ever Crater Bowl game. They have a trophy for it. Between
the Crater Bowl.
Because the Craters of the Moon
sure.
runs along the highway between Carey and Arco, which is where Butte County is. Hardy with two backs. He's going to sweep it to the left-hand side. Nice catch on the sweep to that side. It's going to be a loss of a couple yards. But Aiden Malone, the senior,
caught that one at his hip.
He did. Had to kind of reach out.
Yeah.
Carey had been in the Snake River Conference with Valley. Well, yeah, with Valley the last couple of years. That's going to be the end of the third quarter, but I'll finish the thought here. Carey moved down a classification this year. So they're back in the 1A Sawtooth Conference where they'd been dominant for years. So they're back there. Them and Hagerman, the Panthers and the Pirates, basically swapped spots. So Carey, a 1A team going on the road, and they're a good team, going on the road, and for the moment, with a comfortable lead on Butte, boy, that's a heck of a potential win.
Yeah.
If the Panthers can hold on. The third quarter is ended, 52-14. Logan, do you want us to take a break? He's got his fingers in his ear. I don't think he. Oh wait, hang on.
We might be going down to the field. Let's see.
Oh no, I think he was getting ready to blow the horn, but thankfully, it looks like they chose not to. Thank you. Let's take a quick timeout and say thank you to P1FCU.
I'm always looking for new ways to save, but I haven't found anything better than my P1FCU Ascend checking account. It's a free account that earns 3.5% APY of your average monthly balance. That could feed your coffee obsession for 2 weeks. Not only am I earning money, but I also have all the great features of a checking account, like mobile deposit and mobile wallet. Open your Ascend checking account at p1fcu.org and start earning today. APY is the annual percentage yield.
Fourth quarter from Fruitland High School. Valley in a neutral site game with a big lead over Prairie. We got a change at quarterback. Looks like Ryder Ellis, the junior, calls his own number. Goes forward for a couple. And this is the difference. We talked about a mercy rule ending the game, which used to be the rule in 8-man football, to a running clock. Now you get Ryder Ellis, your backup quarterback, on the field. You get him a couple of possessions here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
That's big time.
Yeah, valuable, especially here early in the season, too. And I love that play.
Ellis with that middle screen, and that's going to be good for a first down. It was third and almost 20.
Yeah.
And they pick it up.
Especially when you block it well, it's almost unguardable. And, if you dial it up at the right time.
If you time it right, you're going to hit a lot more than you don't.
But yeah, the new quarterback, Ellis, 5'8", 160 pounds in his junior year. Can also play linebacker as well, but good job on the timing there on that middle screen. And they've hit that
4 or 5 times. Yeah.
Yep. And it's worked almost every time.
It has. Handoff up the middle. Not much going there for Aiden Malone. I think he got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe gained about a half yard. They'll call it officially no gain, so second down. Zane Hobart still down there. Hasn't sent me a text yet tonight. I'm going to have to give him some grief about that.
Yeah.
Talking the guy up, and he can't even have the courtesy to send me a text to tell me I'm awesome. Second down, about 9.
Some people these days. You know.
2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Malone looks like the runner in the backfield with Ellis. Ellis catches a snap. Jailhouse, no chance at all. Uhlencott and Shoemaker both in there. Or beg your pardon, it might have been Wemhoff. It was Wemhoff. So Wemhoff, who was cramping earlier, leg cramps, and we started to talk about that. Once you get that first one, man, it's hard to shake him. But Wemhoff out there giving it a go, and he and Uhlencott chase down Ellis and pick up the sack. So 3rd and a mile again. Valley picked up 1 on a center screen a moment ago. Looks like they're going to try it again. Defended beautifully. Ball just thrown up for grabs. It's caught for a loss of about 4.
Yeah.
Some incredible improvisational skills by Valley, but very disciplined Prairie defense. There was really nowhere to go.
Yeah, top to bottom, that was very well defended by Prairie. Not only because, we just talked about it, they've hit that mid-screen 5-6 times tonight. And they've dialed it up when it's been 3rd and forever, too. So it's a good job of the defense and the coaching staff knowing, hey, back your mind, middle screen here.
Here's it coming, yep. Stay home. So for the second time tonight, Valley will punt as we go inside 9 minutes to go, presumably in the football game, barring something really weird. And that, my friends, is a pretty good punt.
Yeah, no kidding.
And it's going to hit off the return man and get picked up by Valley.
That kind of night for Prairie. It's just been that kind of night. It's Phil Schwartz, the deep man there, and wrong place, wrong time. You know, it kind of looked like he couldn't quite decide if
he was
kind of
in between.
Yep,
he was kind of in between, and when you hesitate, that ball just finds you. And it was a fast hop that just came up and hit him and bounced right to Valley, and the Vikings have the ball right back.
Yeah.
And that was a good punt.
So I didn't return many punts or kicks other than
Daniel Zamudio, I believe, was the one who kicked it away, and he hammered that. It was a good punt. Anyway, finish your thought.
Well, back when I was playing, the only punts I returned was on scout team or practice, but kind of one of the things they teach you is if you even have the slightest hesitation of
get out of there. Yeah.
You got to get it. You got to get out of there.
Handoff up the middle. Malone, not a lot going there as Valley starting to get some 2s and 3s on the field.
Yeah, and who would have
Jesus
thought?
Urias out there. I think he's been out there some. Trying to identify some players that maybe we haven't called their name as much, but some younger skill positions. Luis Granados, receiver way down here to the left. Ellis is going to roll to the right, and he's going to get dragged down by the shirt. And I think it was Wemhoff again, who I'm curious to see what his official tackle is going to be at the end of the game. I'm assuming he's got to be pushing
he's
double
there.
digits.
Yeah, he's up there. He's had a good game defensively. And, I go back to it. Prairie is it's another one of those plays that they probably don't make that mistake I'm talking about, the muff punt, probably in 2 weeks when they're in a game late, It's just been that kind of night, but, the kind of the fortunate thing, I think, for Prairie's going to learn a ton from this game.
Oh, yeah.
And their
coaching staff is too good for their players not to. False start as the receiver on the far side. He was ready to go on 1, and the play was on 2. Reminds me of a scene from the movie Best of Times, for those of you who may have seen that. Have you ever seen that movie?
I haven't, no.
Kurt Russell.
Oh, you've seen it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robin Williams. I'm a big Robin Williams fan. Gone too soon, as the saying goes.
Yeah.
7 minutes, 42 seconds to go. Third and a bunch for Valley again. Sweep coming to the near side. Not much going. Again, stuffed. Wemhoff again. Shoemaker was there as well. And it's going to be 4th and 20. 20?
Yeah, fourth and a lot.
So when you've got a lead and there's 7 minutes to go and the clock's running, you can go ahead and just play a little field position.
Yep.
And if I'm Prairie, it doesn't, well, looks like they're actually going to go for it. Never mind. I was going to say Prairie isn't even sending a guy deep.
Oh, you got the, 2s and 3s on the field now. So
give him a snap. Yeah,
it's getting them another rep, right?
Ellis under some pressure, lets it fly downfield. Going to be intercepted.
Don't hate it.
A little bit underthrow. It's essentially a punt.
Yeah.
Levi Gehring with the interception.
Because it's 4th down, right? So you have to throw it to the sticks. Defense knows
and then
that.
same thing, like in a different setting, and maybe it wasn't Gehring who intercepted it. I could be mistaken because he's just coming onto the field right now. Anyway, so Uhlencott perhaps, I didn't, and I apologize for not getting that one right.
Schwartz, I think.
Oh, Schwartz.
Yeah.
Okay. Good for him to be rewarded. But anyway, in a different game, aka say it's 20 to 14, you want the DB to bat that ball down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
But in that game, you know what? Go ahead, pick it off. Finish the play.
Sure.
So first down for Prairie. Trailing 52-14, 6:50 left in this one. Bunch of people moving all over the place. Julian Arias got into the backfield, but not really anybody else had moved. At least I don't think so, but we're waiting for the official. This crew is from District 4. They drove up from Twin Falls, as you mentioned earlier. Had to delay the start of the game by not quite 10 minutes, waiting for them to get on the field. But in talking to Travis Mader, the athletic director for Prairie High School, he said, this is a good crew we got tonight. And they've done a nice job.
Yeah, a little bit short-handed, too. We're talking off air.
Just a 4-man crew tonight where it's, 6 in the 11-man game? Because you'd have a couple of, you'd have the umpire and you'd also have some sort of, I don't know what the exact.
It's like two, I don't know what they're called, but it's like 2 linesmen, essentially. You got 2 guys
and then
on the
you'd
ball
have
on
one
each
deep
side.
guy back
Yeah,
here.
right.
Back here, like you can see where I'm pointing.
Back where the safety stand.
Yeah.
There you go.
First down, 10 yards to go. Prairie football. Coming up at the end of the game, our IdahoSports.com player of the game, and then see if we can get ourselves a interview with the young man.
A cool thing that having a sideline guy kind of allows us to do, bring you those interviews.
Run up the middle. Valley kind of cratered the left side of that line, and they get a tackle for a loss. It'll be second down as we go inside 6 minutes.
And that was something that those post-game interviews, we started kind of tinkering with that at state basketball maybe a year or 2 ago over at the Idaho Center. So
we did one at the Idaho Bowl, the junior high all-star games. Played at Boise State. Finished the story after this play. Second down and about 12. We've got a whistle. And I don't know what they're calling, but anyway. We have Paul on the field, Paul Kingsbury. Oh, they're sending a player off for equipment. He's interviewing the kid, and he's like, hey, what is it like to have a big game and be the player of the game on the blue turf at Bronco Stadium? And the kid says, I don't care. I'm a Vandal fan.
Spoken like a true Vandal.
Yes.
Yeah, the Idaho Bowl, that was a great event.
It was great.
Work a little bit on the back end things of that through my other job.
Slant route, a juggling catch, turning and heading upfield. That's Uhlencott, and he's going to have a first down.
Yeah.
It went through Shoemaker's hands. I'm not sure who the actual intended receiver was, because you had 2 receivers in the same area. It went through Shoemaker's hands, then hit Uhlencott in the shoulder pads, popped up in the air. He had the presence of mind to stick with it and make the catch.
Pinballed.
Yeah.
Pinballed its way into his hands, and
so big game there. run up the middle. That's Gehring. He'll get a couple as we go inside 5 minutes to go.
But finish up that thought there on the Idaho Bowl. Essentially what it is it's a middle school all-star showcase game that takes place at the end of June. And
1A through 6A. It could be any, if you're going into high school in Idaho, you're eligible to play.
And first heard about Paul, who's the owner, is I think.
Yeah, Paul Kingsbury.
Yeah, most people know that. I'm guessing probably know that listening to this, but I was on a beach in Hawaii, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna have a guy call you about something that you could work on through my other job, which I essentially recruit sporting tournaments and conventions to take place in the city of Boise as a way to enhance economic impact and things like that." So
run to the left-hand side is going to be a first down for Prairie.
And so I ended up talking to the organizer of the Idaho Bowl, and he had this idea. And sometimes I hear a lot about great ideas that don't always come to fruition in my line of work, and especially with these first-year events. But, man, they lived up to the hype, everything that they had told us. It was 300-something kids from all across Idaho coming in, playing on one of the most iconic fields, not only in the state but in all of college football. And then they were able to get back to charity too, get back to the Ronald McDonald House here in the Boise area too, which I thought was a really neat thing that they did.
Tough run by Shoemaker. First down now. McElroy will call his own number. Push forward for a few. Looked like Raul Ambris on the field for the first time. 5'8" junior lineman. 3.5 minutes left in this one. Clock is stopped for a moment. And it sounds like we have a player down. Again, we want to thank P1 FCU. Oh, that's Brian Hardy running the down marker? Wow. The AD at Valley stepping in and helping here.
There you go. Gotta love the help.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So P1 FCU, thank you to their support, obviously. Gem State Game of the Week. There's Paul. That's Paul Kingsbury. We were just talking about him a minute ago. And let's see here. We're going to get a who looks better. And since Paul is the comparison, it's a very low bar to clear. Let's see who gets it. Oh, Will, his son. Iffy. Coin toss.
Yeah.
They're both Kingsburys.
They keep it in the family, right? So.
It's thrown me off sitting next to Logan, the producer, because my name's Will, and that right there, his name's Will.
Yeah.
Will Kingsbury. I tell Paul jokingly, thanks for naming your son after me. They just got so excited that they only gave him one L. I have two L's.
Oh, right, okay.
So they come from the same batch DNA. Second down, not quite goal. Hand off. Trying to find some room. It's Gehring. Looks like he gets down inside the 5. Down to about the 3, maybe? And it's a little tough to tell when you don't have
the perspective.
You need kind of you're kind of playing the angles here.
Oh, there you go.
There we go, finally.
The
Paul.
Magic of sideline cameras.
Yes. McElroy. Hands off, up the middle, Shoemaker, touchdown. His second of the game. Another roughly, let's call that one a 2-yard run. His second TD of the game, and it comes with 3 minutes and 4 seconds left here. 52-20 pending the conversion here. Prairie so far, 1 for 2. And, oh, nice cut back. Gehring was in trouble, but he cut back, and he finds his way in. And that makes it 52-22 with just over 3 minutes left in this football game.
It was 36-8 at halftime, and for the most part,
stayed about at it.
Kept it about there. So
I've actually, and it's easy for me to say from up here, because I'm not on headset with them. I'm not talking to them. I like what both of these coaching staffs have done here in the second half. They stayed true to their game plan. They haven't got, you know, too wild and crazy. It's been, hey, let's just play our game and let's see what happens. And, you know, Prairie has played better here in the second half.
Yeah.
But Valley has just been the better team.
Yeah, it started really first, second, I mean, really the whole first half for Valley. But Valley's done a really good job because we were kind of sitting at halftime thinking, well, if A, B, and C, and D happen, Prairie gets back into it. Now we have a game.
And that's the fun part of 8-man football is A,
Yeah,
B,
yeah.
C, and D can very easily happen.
Yeah.
And we've seen it before.
Right.
But it didn't happen here tonight, and you got to give, you know, Valley's coaching staff and their kids a lot of credit for that because it would have been really easy to go into the locker room with that lead and just not show up mentally for the second half.
Second half, yeah, exactly. And you know, the key to that.
And same for Prairie, to be honest. It would have been easy.
Sure.
It would have been easy to roll over and die, but they've continued to compete.
Yep. Yeah, which you got to love to see, you know, especially for a school that's as proud as Prairie is. This doesn't happen to Prairie a whole lot.
No.
Really at all. So, you know, these kids are used to being on the other side of the scoreboard than what they're on right now.
Kick will come to a stop where it's finally picked up by Zamudio. It's about the third jersey tackle we've seen tonight. 2:56 to go in the football game, and Valley will take over. Josh Hardy, what a game for that young man. 3 touchdown runs, 3 touchdown passes.
Yep. Yeah, 6 total touchdowns for him tonight. We'll hear from him in just a couple minutes on the post-game show. Paul's going to go track him down.
Yeah, I would say, again, barring something weird, that's going to be your IdahoSports.com player of the game. Let's see if Valley continues to go with Ryder Ellis, the junior backup quarterback who was in last drive, and he made a couple of nice plays.
Yeah, he did. It's been kind of fun to see the second string offense, if you will, or the second line, to kind of use a hockey reference here for Valley, because you know, especially a quarterback, it almost seems like, you know, Hardy's obviously very athletic and can do some things with his feet, but it seems like Valley can still move the ball okay even without Hardy in there at quarterback.
Hand off to the left-hand side, trying to find some room and getting out of there and nearly breaking it the distance. Is that Vargas on the carry, number 7? Yes, it is. Good, tough run there, and he just got tripped up at the end.
It's a Valley program that this is going to be a statement win here for them tonight. This is going to have ripple effects across the state.
Yeah, this is a team you mentioned a couple years ago. They just won a couple of ball games.
1-7 2 years ago.
Last year they go 6-5 overall. They get into the then 1A Division I, now 2A state playoffs, and it's all been about incremental steps forward. And they seem to be making them. They seem to be, you know, on schedule, so to speak.
Well, this is a big step tonight to beat a team that in Prairie that has been kind of at the top of the classification, you know, whether kind of going back to the 1A Division I days, but Prairie has been at the top of this class for many years. I mean, this is a big dog in the classification.
Rosenboro dragged down for a loss. I thought I saw a flag, but maybe not. Oh, now it is, and it's going to be a motion penalty against Valley. Exactly 2 minutes to go in this one.
I'd be really curious to see what happens in the polls going into next week. Because Valley, if I'm not mistaken, I know you mentioned it earlier, Will, that didn't even receive votes in either poll.
Who's that?
Valley.
Valley was 5th in the coaches poll.
5th in the coaches.
And others receiving votes in the media poll.
Oh, so it's Prairie that wasn't getting the votes. That's right. Okay. So, but anyway, so that tells us that Valley's on the radar a little bit, but hasn't really kind of vaulted themselves into the upper echelon of the classification. I think this win tonight, you know, even though Prairie's not in the top 5, but you know, this is a veteran coaching staff that's all in its second stint at Prairie. So I think Valley is going to jump up in the polls, particularly if Butte County does not hold on.
Correct. And they were losing to Cary in the third quarter, for those of you who might have missed that. The first ever Crater Bowl. Handoff up the middle. This is going to be good for a few yards. Minute 45 and counting.
2 minutes now, and for Prairie moving forward for them, I think this is a game tape that I mentioned it earlier. This is not a game tape that they're just going to flush.
No, you can learn from it.
Yeah, right. I think they're going to learn a lot from it. Sometimes a team like Prairie gets blown out, and you hear Coach, well, we're just going to flush it. Move on to next week. I don't think they're going to do that.
No, I think there's some good teaching points here. And, again, that's easy for me to say from where I'm standing in, the middle of the oven here, as Valley's going to punt. And a nice sliding catch. That was Schwartz who came up there and grabbed it with 1:04 to go. And Prairie getting some new players onto the field. Let's hit with you some names. Lane Mader coming out onto the field. Also see number 24, Cade Quintal. So we may see a third quarterback in the game because he's listed as a quarterback/defensive back. And indeed, number 24, Cade Quintal, 5'10", 145-pound sophomore, the third quarterback of the game for Prairie. Not completely by design, not a surprise to see two. Don't know that we really expected to see a third. Sweep to the left-hand side, good run. Now veering all the way back to the right and then getting popped and getting knocked down. That's number 32, Malachi Graham-Pyle, a freshman who, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, St. John's Bosco kid. The other 1A school in Cottonwood. It's a small Catholic school with an enrollment of about 6, and I say that lightheartedly. They're telling me it's 11. It's a very small school. They do offer some athletics. Football's not one, so the kids are able to come over and at least Malachi Graham-Pyle, who's took a pretty good pop at the end of that play. He comes off the field with 43 seconds to go, and the clock is running.
I did not know that there was another school in Cottonwood.
See, you gotta hang around with me more.
Yeah,
I know some random stuff. Snap gets bobbled. Jumping on it is Quintal, and if you're into silver linings, his name is now in the stat book. Now, granted, it's for a loss of 2.
Still in the stat book, though.
And it's not a loss of 2. It's probably right back about the line of scrimmage. Maybe, let's call it a no gain. 3rd down and 2, probably the last play of the game here. Handoff trying to get up the middle. Mader, I think he got the first down. I don't think it's really going to matter. Is 3, 2, 1, stand by. That's your ball game. Your final score here tonight. Valley defeats Prairie by a final score of 52-22. Let's take a post-game timeout here. We'll come back with our player of the game and see if Paul can track our winner down for a quick post-game interview. We'll be right back.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
This year, help dreams come true with the Ideal Idaho 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits, ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, K-12 education, and student loan repayment. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org if you would like to learn more.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles, stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Will Henneke, Lucas Gebhardt with you. The final score here tonight, the Valley Vikings 52, the Prairie Pirates 22. Your IdahoSports.com player of the game is Valley senior Josh Hardy. 6 total touchdowns, 3 passes, and 3 runs, all for scores. Paul Kingsbury down right now, waiting for the players. As you're looking at it right now, you see Paul kind of getting his camera time, waiting for them to do their break. And then we'll get Josh really quick, ask him a couple questions, and then we'll let everybody get on their bus and head home. Here comes Josh right now. Josh Hardy, our IdahoSports.com player of the game.
All right, I think they're ready for us, guys. I'm down here on the field, our IdahoSports.com player of the game, Josh Hardy. Josh, good game. How do you feel?
Good. Started off a little slow, but picked it right back up, and
you did.
Yeah, it was good.
So you're responsible for 6 touchdowns tonight, 3 in the air, 3 on the ground. Last week you guys came out against Butte County, had a bit of a rough game, some penalties, a few other things. In this game, do you feel like you cleaned some of those things up a little bit?
We definitely still had too many penalties, but we trusted each other on all of our assignments. So, yeah, it was definitely cleaner.
Are you guys going back tonight?
Yep.
All right. Well, last question for you. Did you get your athleticism from your mom or from your dad?
Both.
Safe. Josh, congratulations, IdahoSports.com player of the game.
Thank you.
All right, guys, back up to you.
Look at Paul kind of walking the line again there, as now he's getting mobbed by his teammates. Josh Hardy, your IdahoSports.com player of the game. 6 total touchdowns in the contest, 3 rushing, 3 passing. Final score 52-22 as Valley evens their record at 1 win and 1 loss. They'll be at Hagerman next week. Prairie also 1 win and 1 loss, and they will be home to play Lapway next week. Uh-oh, what did I do here? Oh, never mind, I'm good. Tried to screw something up, and I failed it. Mad props to me. This has been an IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of Gem State Game Night, Game of the Week, presented by Project Filter, Valley-Wide Cooperative, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Also P1FCU and Subert Excavation. Thank you so much from Fruitland High School. Our final score tonight, 52-22, Valley with the win. I'm Will Henneke. He's Lucas Gebhardt. For our entire production crew, Logan, Owen, Paul, and another Will, we appreciate you for joining us. Have a wonderful evening, everybody. Good night.
This has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com GameStreams. This broadcast is copyrighted to IdahoSports.com. Any rebroadcast